Righty-ho. How are we doing tonight, Sky Watchers? Looks like it's another clear night for us tonight. So, buckle up, settle in. We are looking out for UFO, UAP in the night sky tonight. They're live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. Lots of strange things in these skies over the years. So hopefully, we've had a few interesting ones, haven't we, over the week there? So hopefully it's going to be another interesting night there. Jeffro is already in over on the tubes. How are you doing? And yeah, look, as you can see, it is very blue. That is the last bit of daylight. But as it goes, we're going to see more stars, more moving objects there, and hopefully again some more anomalous ones. We've got two on the tracker.
Zoom mode
if we zoom
activated.
in on these, again, look, they've always got the tracking alignment slightly wrong. I have to work on that one. So they'll probably go red the further away they get from that line. But at the minute, they're not doing anything particularly strange. There's a faint one just down there. Oh. We're going to see lots of movement like that tonight. We need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is something a little bit stranger indeed. So as you're joining us, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from tonight there. And if you've had an experience with the phenomena, we would love to hear about that. If you're watching this again on a replay, drop your comments in the chat there and we can respond to them later. But yeah, we've had some interesting sightings this week. It's getting into our busy period, towards the end of July, and August is absolutely phenomenal for us. Not is it just amazing skies, but yeah, lots and lots of activity. So looking forward to that one. How you doing, Lethal? Good to see you in, and thank you for the likes. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that stuff, guys, that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. Scooby is in. How are you doing tonight? Good to see you there. How's your weekend gone? We have got Vega in shot for us at the minute still.
Zoom mode
so
activated.
This is our companion star for the stream. 26 light years away from us here. Very big, very bright. And as the night goes on and that daylight goes, you're going to see how purple that star is, which is absolutely crazy. The night sky is incredibly colourful. We don't tend to see much of it, do we, with our eye? But you've all seen those deep space images there. Space is very colourful. There, Adam is in. And how are we doing there? Did you find this site? Yes, Lethal, I really did. It's giving me more ideas. I thought I'd run out of ideas, but you're giving me more and more inspiration there, so I appreciate that one, Lethal. In there, watching the World Cup final. Is it? I've lost track of it all. I've lost track. Who's it? Who's playing tonight then? Dan is in. How are you doing? How is it going? So yeah, we've got some few attract objects on the screen. I might turn the sensitivity up a bit, see if we can get some of those fainter ones in. Ooh, don't want to do it too much. It'll start to pick up just the twinkling of the stars, which I think, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we want to see it when those tracking lines go red, but it is getting some of them wrong, so we'll have to still keep your eyes on it. There as well. Inspector Morse, how are you doing? Where are we there as well? Glad that. Oh, Spain and Argentina. Ah, well, who are we rooting for now? Who are we rooting for, guys, on that one there? So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing tonight, guys. We're going to be looking out for the strange and anomalous in the night sky there, live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. Lots of strange things in these skies. Carl, how are you there as well? And Adam coming in with the likes. Thank you for those, the likes and shares. It does all help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. Evening, Gandalf. Good to see you there. And it's 18 degrees outside. It's not been this cool for days. I was noticing that. I'm still in my shorts. And I was like, oh, you know what? Putting the camera out. I'm on the edge of chilly, which is a novelty. Might actually start to get some decent sleep at some point. And it's 0-0 at the minute, the second half. Ooh, could it be a tie? How long will they push it for there? Lila, come on, Spain. Yeah, I think by default, I can't bring myself for Argentina there. Sadie too, how are you doing? Harco is in. Good to see you there. And DJ Lethal coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that, guys. The gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, all of that stuff there does help us improve the stream. It all goes back in there. And Adam coming in with the shares there, second half of Extra Time. Oh, it's already pushing it. Oh, it's going to be a tense one. But hopefully for us, it's going to be a lovely, busy night. It's very, very clear. And for some, touch wood, the camera's playing ball at the minute. So hoping it's going to be a good one there. The Argentinian Dark Hearts. I've not forgiven them from the Falklands trying their luck. That and all of the, after the Second World War, how many Nazis they took in. But anyway, we're getting to another one. Let's zoom in on this.
Mode activated.
There we go. We've got some... Oh, it's very faint, that one. It's picking up just in that square there. let's keep our eyes on it. The tracker does seem to be doing a good job with that one at the moment, but keep your eyes. We're looking for it to stop dead, sure for speed, change its course or trajectory. That tells us for sure that it is something more anomalous there. We've got another one there, and another one there, and another there. So what are we on? 4 on the screen at the moment. Oh, is that a 5th? Yeah, it's trying for that 5th one. There we go. Oh, it's just a bit faint. Oh, 6 there. God, there's so many. We've had 14 on the screen at once. That is our absolute record. I think this season it's been 9. I wonder if we're going to break that today, because it is already really, really busy. And, you know, that sky hasn't got fully dark yet. That's why it's still blue. So when that does go, hopefully we're going to see more and more there as well. Can I keep up? I can't keep up in general with anything at the minute, Harco, but I am managing to skim through a bit and check some of them out there. Keep it up. Oh, 1-0 for Spain. Oh, just scored. There we go. Okay, it's all going right there. And Adam there, what wizardry is this tracking? So this is something I've been working on. That's why it gets it wrong occasionally. But it's to help us identify that movement, because there's quite a lot of the fainter ones that I tend to miss there. And obviously we need to pay attention, make sure they're not doing anything strange. Oh, that's exactly what we want to see. And yeah, sometimes it's harder doing it when there's multiple objects on the screen. So this is designed to identify that movement, predict its future course if it is going to be a satellite, and if it is following that future course, therefore it's not giving us any evidence that it is something a little bit more anomalous, so we can not pay as much attention to the green ones. But when it goes red, the idea is that it's deviated some way in which a satellite just can't, and therefore it could be anomalous. Now sometimes it is going to get those tracking alignments just wrong. See how this one here, it's just getting a little bit further away. It didn't get the line perfectly right for that, so as it diverges, the further it goes, it's going to come away from the threshold of the line, and therefore it's going to go red. So that's a little bit of a bug, but we're looking for if it's red, it could be interesting there. So that's what we're doing. And really, I watched the whole game and just decided to sit down the toilet. And yeah, and then you get the one in there. Well, we're giving you the updates there. And where are we? Down here as well. Spain has won there. Excellent. Well, interesting. God, I mean, when was the last time we won one of those things? How much they're paying them, and yet they still can't manage to win. Right, where's my other control? Let's turn up the brightness a touch. So as the sun goes further around, I'm going to have to keep increasing the brightness there, so we can start to see more of those objects popping out there, more of those stars, more of that movement, and then you're going to get more colour in there soon. It's going to be absolutely fantastically clear for us tonight. So I am very much looking forward to tonight's Skywatch to see what we can get. And what time do you stream in the winter there, when it gets very, very dark? Lilac, what we did last year is I was following when it gets dark to the point of like the earliest I could, so after I finished work. But I'm thinking I might just settle down to about like not do earlier than 9:30, just because I need to kind of get into some sort of routine. So yeah, we're going to start to creep earlier, and then we'll probably just sit around 9, 9:30 or something. We'll have to see how it goes. There you go. These are ones that it hasn't got the tracking right there. So that as it gets further along, if it doesn't lose it, there it goes. I got a bit too faint, but it'll probably go red if they get a little bit further out there. So I saying that though, I do like chasing it, you know, the better parts of the night. So I might end up going earlier, but I'm trying, I think, to get into a better routine there. Orion in a B3. Which one is B3 on my screen? It is that one. Oh no. So no, Orion's a bit further around actually at the second. Yeah, we did have it in, didn't we, though, Harco, in the earlier part of the year, but I think it's right around the other side of town now, actually. So yeah, we'll have to see what this year's winter schedule looks like. It wasn't too bad for clear nights. It wasn't, you know, being the UK, you'd expect that we'd be just clear, cloudy nights all of the time over winter, but it wasn't too bad. Obviously, nowhere near as good as the summer, but yeah, we'll have to mix it up a bit. We'll be doing a lot of radio signal hunts, I think, during that period there. But if you're just joining us, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from. We're doing our live alien radio. No, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We are looking out for those strange objects in the night sky, acting in ways which man-made objects and natural ones can't. So yeah, therefore highlighting themselves to us as potentially UFO UAP. There, how are we doing, support? Good to see you. How's your weekend been? You got a couple of tracks on screen already, but yeah, look, that blue is starting to go, and you know, the Vega is getting more purple, so yeah, it's going to be fantastically clear. Oh, I see the alignment there. It does look a little bit like a ride, doesn't it? They're very clearly three together there. Orion appears a little bit bigger because we normally then we'll have Betelgeuse, that's a big bright orange one we can see up there. So yeah, dawning goes quite well there. And thank you, Sir Paul, as well for gifting the membership. Very much appreciated there. And Charles, you got that one from Paul there. So you'll be able to join us for our next deep dive. It's going to be on Thursday. There we go. It's listed down there. The 23rd at 9 p.m. there. I think it's called the Robertson Panel. It's a CIA report into the phenomenon. Where we've read these ones in the past, they've been very, very interesting because the top line, the summary of all these official reports is, there's nothing to see here, guys. But when you actually read the scientific paperwork, it's like a totally separate thing. They go, yeah, it's like, this is really interesting, and we can't disprove this, we can't disprove this. Really, really interesting there. So you better join us for those ones too. And guys, if that sounds like your cup of tea as well, we do it for our normal live streams. A bit of a thank you for our supporters. Then you can join us. There's a link in bio for a free month on the Patreon there. No obligation. You can just hang around, catch this one, catch the past ones. But we cover leaked documents there, whistleblower accounts, the declassified stuff, or the UFO drops from the US. All of that strange and interesting things that, it's our UFO homework, I feel of it there. Maybe the gamma ray burst. Oh, could well be there, Harco. Where are we down there? 22:52. The ISS is passing over close to us. So, what time does that give us now? So that should come up because we're into our stream time. So that should come up for an ISS thing, but it's not showing for me at the minute. Maybe it's not in from this point. I'll have to check into that and make sure it's not an error of it. There, how are we doing, Andrew? There, and Scooby there feeding Alan. Thank you for that one. And Jane is in as well. Good to see you there. How is everybody doing tonight? As you're joining, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. We're looking out for UFOs, UAP, live from right in the heart of Crop Circle country here in the UK. Wiltshire, just down the road from Stonehenge. Glastonbury isn't too far in the other direction either. So we are right in between all of the weird and mystical things. Lots of strange stuff has happened over the years. So yeah, could be... it could be the reason why we get to see so many more things. 8 minutes till the ISS. Yeah, it might pop up, but we are looking roughly in the right direction to potentially be able to catch it, I think. So we'll have to see, because we did try last night, but it's very, very low on the horizon. But why is my notifications and all that not coming up for that one? Let me have a look on here. 2 seconds, guys. Right, let me just do those ones. So yeah, if you're just joining us, looking out for northwest even. Yeah, might be a little bit high in the sky. No, we are pointing up there. There's a chance we could see it towards the top of the screen, guys. And where are we? 15 minutes northeast of Glastonbury. Exactly. It's not too far, is it? You know, this part of the world, there's lots of strange places around here. You look at an OS map, and it's not just the big, more well-known ones. Oh, are they going to crash? Or just missed each other there on the tracker. But yeah, it's not... this landscape isn't short of all ancient structures and things going back through history there. And Lilac, the ISS will be quite low again. They're flying over south or west of France. So yeah, last night it was so low on the horizon, we kept losing it behind the trees. And also, it wasn't that bright. Oh, good spot in there, Harco. A little in B2, which is where I am almost in there. So that one has gone red, but it's just a misalignment. As you can see, it's still a straight, steady course, but it's just a fade there. So it's not showing us anything interesting just yet. There. Oh, you're outside, Lethal. If to let us know whereabouts it is there. Oh, it's just gone already. It's the delay. Have you not got the interactive grid buttons, Harco? Or did I miss it? Let's have a look. I need to turn up the brightness a touch, I think. But that blue is going. It is going, guys. So we are getting... turn it up a little bit. There we go. Very spacey now. Lots of the fainter stars in line there, but the tracker is going off, so I have to turn its sensitivity back down a bit. There we go. So it's not going to start to catch the twinkling of those fainter stars. Thank you there, Lethal. Lots of action. You're not wrong there, Scooby. You're not wrong. The tracker has definitely shown me a lot small. It's trying to pick up that one. It's struggling, but it's doing its job. Look, it's trying to get it there. So at least it can draw our eye to the ones that I would have totally missed otherwise. Another one coming in at the top here. Is that a faint one it's trying to do, or is it trying to link those ones? It's a little bit too sensitive still. Let's turn up the brightness, the sensitivity again there. Should we... Well, that one looks strange.
Zoom mode activated.
Look how red that one looks. Okay, that was an interesting one. That's an interesting. We've got anything on the old radar? Let's have a look. Anything on the old flight radar there to see if there's anything to account for that red, because it was almost looking like a bit of a red flash. No, we've got nothing in the area there. So, yeah, that could have been an interesting one, because it did look slightly red. But, like, not the orangey red, but the red. Let me get rid of that menu as well. So yeah, guys, just joining us, we're looking out for UFO UAPs. Do say hello, let us know where you're all watching us from tonight. If you've got any questions, ask away. Maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it there. Or my favourite, if you've had an experience with the phenomenon, we'd love to hear about that. And Vega is right above me, so you should see the ISS as it is passing quite close to it. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll pass right over on screen for us. Got some faint ones at the minute. I thought looking for U-boats there for a minute, Grandmaster. That's the next one. Hey, we haven't done the old USOs, really, have we? One day we'll have to hire a boat and take the cameras out there to the sea. See if we can catch that strain there. Thank you there, Lethal, for the heads up. Yeah, what came up with that one? There we go. Right. Oh, there we go. Is that it? Is that the old ISS coming over? It's puffing over you now, GJ. That's perfect. Look how bright that one is.
Zoom mode activated.
No, I mean, it's faster and bigger, but I don't know. It's not as big as we've seen it. You know, we have seen one similarly of that sort of size. Can I zoom out a bit there on that one? I think that might be the old ISS going just right there. Still got lots of action on screen. The blue is going, so therefore it is, yeah, it's going to be lovely and clear. I'm going to get full darkness. We'll finish off doing the brightness adjustments soon, I think. Actually, we're probably quite close by to doing that. Let me increase it there. Right, let's do that one. Okay, right, where's my brightness? Just trying to problem solve on those ones. At least the shooting star tracker. We've got that one on screen now. So mods with the interactive grid, you can also hit the button there if you see a shooting star, and we can count how many we have seen on the streamer there. There we go, let's get the brightness up a bit. It should help with the tracking as well. He says. No, it's still trying. We on? Let me change the settings on here a little bit down a bit more there. No, that's worse. There we go. That'll do for now. Right, where did we get to? There. Have a look there. Harco coming in with the gifts there. Carl and Ben.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan. Right. Ben, how are you doing? And if that's going southeast, then I think that was it. Yeah, that does from the position of the camera. I do think it's southeast on that one. And oh no, it wasn't the ISS. It's passing over now. Oh, this is brighter. Okay. Oh, maybe we missed it then. Because wait a minute, where are we pointing now? So that is down there. Yeah, no, that was the right direction. Oh, I don't know. I'll get my head around it there. And personally, I think that's where the mystery lies there. We should be looking down all there while we're looking up there. I do think so. It's a perfect place to hide, isn't it there? Think of how much of the ocean we actually use, especially if you consider volume. They're a perfect place to hide. And liquid water, if you can find it as you're traveling the universe, it is a constant. It is nice and consistent. It is a nice, safe space to park there. You know, think of all the different pressures, acidities, radiation levels, gravitational issues, all this sort of stuff there. If you've got liquid water, it all is roughly, a similar environment. It might be a nice, safe space for them. It's just quite hard for us to look because of the sheer volume. As well, an indigo there evening, and I've been looking at the crescent moon there, and it was a bright and golden looking. I just caught the moon before when I was setting up the camera on. It's quite low on the horizon for us, so I haven't been able to do a moon watch there, but it does look absolutely stunning. Where are we down on the TikToks? Is that Angel there? Where in the UK are you? We are right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge in Wiltshire. How about yourselves there? And Alexandra, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And it's really a bright tonight. Yeah, it is very. I've been tweaking the settings, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good one for that. We've got quite a lot of shading around the edges, but I can still turn the brightness up a little bit. And time to bring in there, was it Mr. Scenario? Let's get these likes up. Thank you there, Adam. Appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares, tapping away, all of that sort of jazz there. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we can get looking at the old phenomena there, sharing our experiences, I said the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. It's above the UK now. Yeah, well, I think we'd see it by now normally if we were gonna tonight, sadly. How are you doing, Joanne, as well? And thank you for the gifts there. All that, guys, the gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, all that stuff goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we're doing, or how we're doing it. Guys, if you are just joining us, though, we're doing our live UFO, UAP Skywatch, and we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. So do help us spot the strange and anomalous tonight. If you call out something, maybe if the tracker has missed it, then, yeah, do share the grid references in the chat, and the mods will be able to highlight certain ones via the interactive grid, and then we can have a zoom in on those. But do say hello, let us know where you're joining us from tonight. We'd love to hear from you all there. And it's over the English channel now. Oh, it must be a bit lower in the sky for us then, because I think we would see it by now at this point if we was going to catch the ISS tonight. No worries. All right, where are we? Down over on the tubes. Oh, so going to take my alien Alan around Blackpool soon at various locations. Oh, you've got to, Carl. Yeah, I want to see him. Blackpool Tower there. I want to see him on the Pleasure Beach there, riding a donkey. Kiss me quick hat. And what's the other one? The £1 burger. I want to see him in there. And Joanna, are many cameras put around fields in Wiltshire? Not really, or not in an official sense. There's not a lot of active programs, that are constantly looking and monitoring for these sorts of things. We're getting to the point now where the technology is getting a lot cheaper. So I do think we're going to start to see more and more of it there. A few of you guys pointed me in the right direction to a company that's actually producing a sort of all-in-one camera-based, well, not just cameras, but full sensor suites to track and monitor the UFOs and stuff. So I think ultimately, yeah, those are going to become more available, and people would just be able to put them out in more and more places. So at some point, we might be able to do just that one. It just disappeared there. Thank you for keeping us on track, though. Lethal there. And where are we? Liberty, how are you doing? I just watched it go over. It was close to Deneb, and then as it passed, I saw the light flashing on and off, and no other lights, and then it disappeared. You managed to see it flashing. I'd never seen that from the ISS. You think as it's reflecting so much light back, it would be much more stable. We've got Deneb just about in shot, and I didn't. We saw some earlier, but it's a little bit before it was coming over the UK, and so I don't know. We've got our eyes in that patch of sky. But old Lethal was saying the same thing there. It's still light in the UK there, Minnow. No, it's dark to the eye. It's dark to the eye here. But this lens lets in a lot of light. So we've still got a little bit of blue there. A little bit of blue as the night goes on. In fact, let me just change some of the brightness settings on the camera so we can make sure we are getting everything that's possible. See that little touch of blue. Can I just brighten it a bit more there? It's going to send the tracker haywire for a second. But it should allow us then to see those fainter ones and hopefully pick those. There we go. Look, it's picked up one there.
Zoom mode
Is that going to be too faint for it to get a proper track on? No, it's doing its job. There we go. It's still looking a little bit of a... There's a lot of atmospheric wiggle tonight. I think that's setting the tracker off a little bit more than it would normally. But it's still lovely and clear. Look how purple Vega
Zoom
is.
mode activated.
Absolutely stunning. 26 light years from us here on Earth there. God, look at that. Yeah, look at the wobble of like some of these stars. Weird that it's able to do that. It must just be a little bit of atmospheric haze. Oh, oh, you saw another light flashing. Ah, got you there. Where are we? Over on the TikToks. Because you can see 4 satellites there passing over now. I never saw one with the naked eye until moving here and having a lot less light pollution. But now I'll go out with the camera, just setting the camera up, taking it down. You can just see them absolutely constantly going all over there. It just seems like a good idea. Joanne, you are not wrong there at all. I think, like, you know, most of these sort of scientific projects that you have to kind of do to get the funding, all these case studies, you've got to justify it. And to do anything that's, you know, a little bit interesting, you know, I don't think it's really been that possible. But now it's the prices these things are going down. Like, independent people can just go, sod it, I'm going to do it myself. So I've been thinking, I was down a bit of a rabbit hole today looking at all of that sort of stuff, and the problem is I've upsold myself now from just one simple one to no, well, you need all of the bells and whistles. You want it to be checking all of this as well at the same time. Oh, you really need 2 so you can get triangulation. But it's on our list. It'll probably be a while, but I think, yeah, monitoring these things constantly, because that's what's needed. You know, the reasons that a lot of the science, there's been so many things in the history of, you know, in the recent history with science there where they go, no, it can't exist, there's no evidence for it, and then technology comes and, you know, therefore there's more eyes wherever it is that's needed, or, you know, more ways of monitoring these things. The evidence is there, and then they go, oh yeah, no, it was there all along. You know, it's the absence of those things, and we're getting to that point now, I think, where this is why we're getting disclosure, because people are seeing strange things. The mainstream narrative doesn't hold up. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be long before we just get so much more data out there. I think it is a good idea. I can see the 3 bright stars that are by Vega. Excellent there as well. So we've got, I can't remember these ones, they're all like letters and numbers distinctions. They've not got catchy names, sadly. But I think Deneb is about over here. There's Vega there, and I know none of the others. None of the others. Kate is in. How are you doing there? Thought it was a signal hunt tonight. I must have got it wrong. Did Alan post it as a signal hunt? Because I definitely said it as a skywatch. Something's gone wrong. I think it's the weather has overridden it or something. Alan was having a sulk. Yeah, no, we've got a clear sky, so hey, we're on for this one. Tonight, how are you doing though, Kate? We've got the shooting star tracker counter, I should say, up. So, oh, there you go. Interactive grid is going in. Let's have a look. What we got in this square here. We've got a faint one down there. Good use of the grid there. So yeah, now if you press it, we can tally the shooting stars as they come up on screen there. Spain won, Oscar. I heard there. At least it wasn't Argentina there. And Joanne as well. The crop circles are getting so intricate, and can't imagine man doing it overnight without the. Yeah, honestly, that I think for me is the biggest question mark. There are some simpler ones, and some you go, I could see it being human there. But to do it, you know, in the peak of summer when, you know, it's not dark for long at all, you know, with no evidence outside, you know, no footpaths to it there, none of the ones where they've been disturbed, half made, you know, you never see their practice crop circles, do you? So I think there'd be something going on. So I did, yeah, I saw it over on the Discord. Very well done there, Oscar. That track took me back quite a few years, that did. I haven't heard it in a while. Maybe I could have seen it wrong because I've spent the day squinting at your phone in the garden. No, I had some other errors which also thought it was a skywatch. So either I got it wrong or Alan got it wrong. I'm going to go with Alan, but it may have been me. So yesterday at 1, I had to let the dog out, and I was looking up at the stars, and I saw a bright star literally do a massive circle in the sky. Or Oscar doing a circle in the sky. That is very, very, very strange indeed. There, that movement cannot be done by satellites or stars or anything like that, can it? There, and it went around the whole horizon. That is very, very anomalous. There, Oscar. Oh, what was it? Was I assume bright white there, like looking like a normal star? Dean and Harco there, thank you for the gifts there. Joanne and Ben as well for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
Where did we get to? And yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I've said this before, we are at a loss for words. You know, we know intuitively it was strange, but, you know, we go to our language and we go, right, all I can say is light in the sky, and it just doesn't do it justice, does it there? But we know deep down that it is something that is highly strange. I'd be very excited if we caught movement like that there. And I blame Alan. Definitely Alan, chewing on the wires there. A bright white, just a constant brightness. Then, as it did a full circle, it just faded. That is very strange across the whole horizon there. If you're confident that it was sort of at the higher altitudes, there is nothing to explain that one at all. At all. Where are we over on the over on the tubes? Hello, Lozzie, good to see you there. Oh, it was Alan that got it wrong. Yeah, I definitely said it as a Skywatch, so for some reason Alan's thought better. Maybe Alan wanted to do a SETI stream tonight then. And Grandmaster there. If you look into D2, if you're lucky, you may see Buenos Aires hope is just disappearing as we're a bit late. Just see it fading away there. How you doing, Rachel, as well? Good to see you there. And Indigo, Alan did say it was a SETI. Yeah, definitely Alan's fault then. Alan's had a bit of a sulk. Something's overridden my explicit commands. Let's have a look. Let me just try and fix this one. You okay, Stinky?
Very quiet.
Yes, I'm just trying to problem solve Alan's slight rebellion. He's giving out wrong information.
Oh, I thought that you weren't streaming for a second.
Yeah.
I was worried. Hey, everyone.
Bit like coming with your clothes on then. Where are we there? Exactly right. Rachel says, Oscar, that isn't a star. I 100% there. And every unexplained signal is a reminder that the greatest discoveries begin with curiosity. 100%. This is what the scientists that are out there now, you know, doing their pushing the needle that millimeter at a time. It's very important work, but they're not going to get anything great from that. That's not how the big leaps happen. It's not how the whole, paradigm gets shifted. It is the people looking in totally different directions, and they just can't seem to get that. And as well, just been having weird dreams, but I think it might be due to maybe. I mean, the heat is getting me at the minute there. Where are we? Dean as well, coming in with the gifts. Thank you, guys. If you are just joining us, we are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch night, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of weird and wonderful things in the night sky here. Do help us spot the strange and anomalous, call out anything that the old tracker may have missed, and yeah, hopefully we're going to get some very interesting sightings today, because it is so clear there. Maze in, how are you doing there? Good to see you in. Where are we? Down over on the TikTok. Where did it go to? Let's blame it, Alan. 100% there. Oh, and Captain, thank you for that. Very, very kind of you there, Blue Nose. Thank you for that. How are you doing tonight? Bright White, just can't know I did that one. Oscar, I thought I was going crazy. You do. You often go, well, what the hell is this? If you've got no explanation for it. And that's why a lot of us are compelled. We're highly motivated to ask constantly to see if we can figure it out. Because, you know, what is it? It doesn't fit our understanding of what could be there. Spain is world champion this year. Carl as well, coming in with the gifts. Thank you, sir. So all the gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, all that jazz goes back into the stream, helping us improve on what we do. And it was at 0317. There's 12 Starlink satellites passing over in a row in the same direction. Lethal, I'd love to catch that. We've saw it last year, and it is always phenomenal to see. It might be a bit late for us on a school night, though, sadly, there. And Gamer, probably, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? It looks amazing there. What are you watching through? So it's just a digital camera with a good lens, but it's a live feed, you know, from the sky above my garden here in Wiltshire. So lots of activity over the years. The little town that we're in is a UFO hotspot. Back in the 60s and 70s, it had solid experiences for, 10 years straight. It had everything you could imagine. I don't know why people don't talk about it a lot more. So, yeah, we've seen some strange things. It does appear that there could be still some, I think, going on to do. Help us spot the strange ones tonight. Sky is looking pristine tonight there. It really is. I don't know. It's just a roll of the dice. It is a roll of the dice, isn't it? How good the sky is sometimes. School's out for summer there. We have to go to with her work now. Oh, God. Does that mean that's it? God, the kids are off. I've totally lost track of summer holidays now. It means that the buses are going to be busier, the trains are going to be busier, the coffee shops are going to be busier. I don't think it should be allowed, personally. Where did we get to over on the tubes? We got to over here, didn't we? And just dreams. I really can't make out, which might be starting to upset me a little bit. I don't usually get upset, which is not normal for me every time now and then. These things definitely can affect, can't they? I mean, it's hard to tell. I've heard of many people having, you know, there are obviously distinct dreams, which is your brain trying to process and understand things, you know, in a very sort of simplified way. God, I can't think of any words tonight. You can tell I'm getting tired. But yeah, there are other people, especially DMT experiencing things. There is a consciousness angle at play. Maybe something else is going on. But how do you tell them apart there? Kids are already off up in Scotland. Of course they are up in Scotland. It's a free-for-all. You and your devolved government up there, free everything. Is it 2 days a year the kids are at school? Where are we? Down over to the TikTok. Let's catch up with you guys. Can you see the Big Dipper? So, I don't think where we are now. The part of the sky that it's over is just a bit over the town. It's a bit too light polluted, and this little pan and tilt doesn't like going too far round unless I kind of move it around manually. I do want to get it in stream. I haven't done it since last year. Oh, it's day 2 and the ferals have exceeded their feral states of being. The maximum feral, turning feral up to 11 there. I see figures in my dreams. I know it can be linked to the two of them there. Probably thinking about them too much. That's another possibility. So I'm trying to learn to not overthink things too much and just kind of let things take their natural course. But I'm not very good at it. This is Vega, our summer companion. A big bright star about 26 light years away from us here on Earth. Burning a very big, very bright and very purple. It won't last as long as our sun. It's going to burn through its stuff much quicker there. But it does make a good little focal point on the stream. So that one's got the alignment just quite wrong on that one tonight. See the track? Yeah, it's really struggling with the you can tell the atmosphere is obviously a little bit thicker tonight. We're getting far more twinkles. You can see the texture. Look at the wobbles on those stars as well. Normally you don't get the wobble. So I think it's having a little bit of a jazz trying to yeah, see, seeing some of the old the twinkling there, and it's trying to track it. See, it's these two stars here. It's trying to draw a line between. Well, I'll turn up the thing a little bit more. See if we can. So it's not the brightness. Let's do it down to that one. Yeah, so we'll see how the tracker gets on. Oh well, that's why we're building it. We've got to think it up. We've got to keep figuring it out. I am Rachel. I'm all for it there. And Ken says support the channel by hitting the like button. Every like helps us create more amazing content. It really does, and thank you, Ken, for saying that, because it is the likes, the shares, especially over on the tubes. That like button right at the top there, that is very, very helpful at letting the algorithm know that other people might be interested, and you never know who's going to come in. We've had some fantastic accounts of people just popping in going, oh yeah, I've seen X, Y, and Z, and my mind has been blown. That's my favourite bit, hearing some of those accounts. So we do appreciate that if you decide to do it, build up a little community. And again, the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. And understand why Scotland and England's holidays are different there. Exactly, Janie. I don't at all. They don't need to be. There's not enough sort of a difference, is there, to warrant it. Where did we get to over on the TikTok? Let's go there. To the Big Dipper, didn't we? There. And Burnsy there from the film Contact. Exactly. Bang on the money there, Burnsy. Yeah, so if you have seen the film Contact, spoilers, but it's an old film now, so it's your own fault. That is the star where Jodie Foster's character may or may not have travelled to there. Really cool. We also do like the film Contact. When it is a cloudy sky, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. We search what is called the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial, where scientists theorise that if ET's out there, that's where they'd put the message. Where the wow signal is heard, where we hunt that, listening out for distant messages from distant species. It's very, very interesting to do that. We're not as fruitful as the Skywatchers, but we need something to do when it is cloudy. In fact, we have it running right now, so if I shut up, where is it? just about hear it in the background. There, so yeah, that is the sound of the hydrogen line currently. So that is what we do when it is a bit cloudy. Make sure, guys, you're following, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, it's this. It's the UFO, UAP, Skywatch, cloudy nights. As I said, it's the alien radio signal hunt. And if the moon is up, I can be bothered, we do this. Moonwatch, we're looking out for what's called TLP, translunar phenomena, the weird things that have been seen going on off and around the moon that astronomers can't explain. We ourselves have seen what appeared to be a glowing crater, and the moon shouldn't do that. The moon is geologically dead, to the best of our understanding, so there shouldn't be anything like that at all. So yeah, we're always hunting pretty much every night for experience of the phenomena. Do say hi as you're joining, guys. Let us know where you're all watching from, and if you've had an experience of the phenomena, we'd love to hear about that one too. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. There's no silly questions here at all. So if you're curious, somebody else in the chat might be too. And I'll be grateful that you have asked. You're eating potato waffles for supper again tonight. You know what? I don't want the potato waffles, but I would really like some proper sweet waffles there. That's what I would like. And where are we there? Is that true? How many here know about Starshield and have seen it? So Starshield, isn't that the Starlink counterpart there, the military version of Starlink? Am I right in that one? I don't know. We probably have, is the answer to that. Any of those satellite constellations, they're growing around so much. We don't, at the minute, identify the specific ones that we are seeing, but we definitely see a lot of Starlink, because statistically there's just a hell of a lot there. So Starshield we probably are seeing there as well. Oh, B2. Good. A good use of the tracker there. You got that one perfectly aligned. So yeah, it's Brain's Gone Dead Day. Yes, we probably are seeing some of it there. We are hoping phase 1 is to finish off getting these alignments right. These ones are being tracked fine, but sometimes it gets the predicted course a little bit wrong. So the idea is that a satellite, anything man-made up there, anything that we can explain, is going to be moving in straight lines relative to us down here. Therefore, we can't tell otherwise. We can't tell if it is something anomalous until it does something strange. So this identifies the movement, predicts that straight path that it should be traveling on, and then if it's green, it's probably is just a man-made object, statistically going to be most likely. But if it goes red, as this one probably will, because you can see it's got the alignment slightly wrong, and over time that is going to get further away, and eventually it's going to think that it's done something anomalous there. It goes red, and we have to look and pay more attention to those ones there in the night sky. But phase 2 of this, yeah, there we go, is going to be identifying the stars in shot. So once the system knows, obviously, what the moving objects are, where it's looking, it can then overlay what the particular tracked objects are. If they are man-made satellites on record, we'll be able to label it, tell the altitude, tell us what it is there. But don't rely fully on the tracker. There's another one that's going to go wonky there. You have to do it for yourself. This is a nice bright one.
Zoom mode
don't
activated.
fully rely on it. Very big and bright and fast, this one. We're looking for these objects to stop dead, shoot off at speed, to change their course or trajectory. And that way it tells us for sure there's something a little bit stranger going on up there, because man-made objects, shooting stars, anything that we can explain basically just doesn't act like that. And Bags, how are we doing? It's a beautiful night sky tonight. We are very, very lucky tonight. I think there's a bit of atmospheric shenanigans going on, because it's the tracker is picking up a little bit of haze, but it's a good night, and I'm going to be grateful for that one. Oh yeah, right there. Seen them come together last year, and they can move independently. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't looked into it. And what's the other thing that they launched? The thing where it's like a return capsule they're testing now, isn't it? That SpaceX are testing. I can't remember what that was called. And they're very good with their names, aren't they? So I don't know if I've seen those ones actually then as well. And it is massively improved what it used to be. Oh God, Kate, yeah, it is very much better than what it was. But I think this is why we're getting a lot of those false targets tonight. So I've had to turn the sensitivity down. So some of the fainter ones are being missed tonight there. But you see these ones jumping out here. It's picking up on that atmospheric haze. The twinkling of the star is setting it off. There, but I think it's just high haze level, so I'll have to compensate for that. We'll get it there. And Joseph, how are you doing in there? Glad this World Cup is over there. Let's get ready for Christmas. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea as well. And as Ma there as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Jay, what's the weirdest one you've had? Or either the big bright orange object that flew across the screen, which was too slow to be a shooting star, but too fast to be a satellite and too large. So we're not quite sure what that was. It's phenomenal to see. Definitely fitted in line with the orbs that are reported. There's a nice big bright one on screen again up here.
Zoom mode
Or the
activated.
triangle formation that appeared to be blocking out the stars behind it as it passed, implying that it was a solid triangle block there, not just free satellites in formation, which is there, but it's rare. So that was a pretty cool one. And Drewski is in the house. How are you doing there? Tracker looks good there and performs better. Thank you, Drewski. Yeah, it's so cool year to get it bloody back going. But we've got the tracker now, haven't we, guys? We've also got the shooting star logger and the ISS notifications as well, so we know if the ISS is coming over. That's another new feature. The shooting stars as well. So mods with the grid, you've got the shooting star log button. If you see one, you can log them and it will come up, and we can keep track of how many we've had. We've also got the aircraft radar. Let it sulk and it will load again. There we go. And it tells us if there is anything locally in the area. Now, yeah, I think we are clear within a 30-kilometre range there of air travel, so we can confirm again any sightings that we might have. Down as well. Pictures are clear, as you've seen. Thank you, Joseph. I've been really trying to rack my brains on sorting out our camera's issues with consistency, although I think 90% of it is just the weather. You know, it's just how clear the night sky is. Is there anything going on? Despite my best intention, so I can't take any credit for it. And try even searching about a star shield. You won't get a lot of information there. Well, I suppose military are going to keep it quite quiet. But it's a very cool what time that we live in there. And Zoa as well there. Is this our camera? Yes, it is. So this is about 10 meters in front of me in my garden. We can actually move it around. I won't do it the second because this is a nice patch of the night sky. But yeah, we can move it around. So we're coming to you live, guys, tonight. We're doing our UFO UAP Skywatch live from Wiltshire here in the UK. Right down the road from Stonehenge, but right in the heart of Crop Circle country. So we do see lots of strange things in the night skies. Do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from there. Messi lost the final. Of course they all were footballers. They're all overpaid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there 7 on screen at once there? 8. Oh, 8. 7, 8 we've got on screen. I have got a little number up there. There we go. There's 9. Okay. Oh no, that might have been a false track there. God, it is very, very busy, this patch of sky, isn't it? And yeah, I've seen a triangle when I was at the caravans on holiday there. No one believes me. Unless you see this stuff for yourself, I get why people, you know, just don't. I do. I'm trying to be more forgiving of the more skeptical ones, but it is frustrating, isn't it? Well, you don't have to worry here, guy. You know, you've found the corner of the internet where we're very open to all this sort of stuff. So you saw it. Could you see the actual shape of the craft itself? Because when we saw it, all I could see... what is that? Adam sent, shit myself. What? That's a strange gift, but I like it there, Adam. Awesome. But sorry, Jay. Yeah, could you see the craft itself? So we could kind of see it by the stars that it was blocking out, but I couldn't actually see it directly. I was observing it, you know, by the absence of other things there. Could you see it? And Ewa as well there, thank you for the shares. Appreciate it, guys. The likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz there. It really does help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. I love to see some UFO stuff while on holiday. Now, a proper UFO holiday. Where in the world are we most likely to have an experience? Where do we need to build a hotel, guys? And True Cell there. Oh, True Celt, sorry. They act as independent sats. They act as independent sats and can maneuver into an array in groups of mainly 3. Oh, that's going to make it really interesting then, seeing some different formations, because I think there's one at the minute, one triangle formation up there, which is a gravitational wave measuring just always in its own formation. But if they can start shifting around like that, that's going to make it even more interesting, isn't it, to see what is going on. Then you're going to have to go on holiday, Kate. Oh, it's too much effort to go on holiday there. Is that a Vega in the middle? You are right, Drewski. That big, bright, beautiful purple beast is a Vega. 26 light years from us here on Earth there, burning much hotter, much brighter than our sun. It's our stream companion for the summer months. It's a nice one to point the camera at. Not too far in space terms, but you still wouldn't want to walk it necessarily there. Jay as well, thank you for the follow there. And Boo as well, thank you for the shares. And don't forget the Chang'an 23 Chinese station is also big. You know what? I always forget Chang'an. I always forget that they've got a space station up there totally independently. I'll have to start tracking that one as well. I don't know if we've seen it over. And... excuse me. Oh, what's not playing on the stream there? What's not coming through? Is it And that's a good point, actually. It's not refreshed. I don't think you guys get the shooting star tracker over on TikTok yet. I'll have to refresh yet. And that's the reason most are not spotting it. It only forms an array at certain times. And why? I don't know. There's going to be some sort of sneaky purpose for it. But that is pretty cool. And that might actually mess up our sightings there. We'll have to be conscious of that one, because that's going to look very, very anomalous compared to everything else that's going on up there. Oh, a dark mountain. Yeah, somewhere in the US. Somewhere spooky. Most beaches are already dark spots, but we want dark, but also somewhere where there's, like, you know, a peak of sightings. Viva España. Yeah, got to change sides now. And it was just like 3 stars, but in a triangle, moving, excuse me, back in a circle. And it was a blocking stars, but it's exactly what we saw. We've only seen it once, and I think that was August last year. So something about August, we had so many good sightings then as well. We send you the link to the track. Thank you, Harko, for that one. I'll see if we can add that to our thing so we know if Chang'e is going over there. And the speed of 2 of these sats shocked me, and I witnessed them moving towards towards an array and then turned. See, that is going to be very interesting. I'm going to need to see some videos so we know what we've got to look out for. Oh, the gift I sent is I just checked myself. Oh, is that what it is? It only comes up as a thing, sadly, there as a little notification at the top. Oh, that's pretty. It's up my street there. Harko and Carl, thank you for the gifts as well. All the gifts, the subs, the members, the Patreons, the merch, all that jazz goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing. And is north on the right side of the screen. For you guys over on the TikTok, north is, we're almost looking directly up. So the bottom of the camera is that way, the top of it's that way, and we're pointing south, but a very high inclination there. So north is probably, yeah, to the right, I think. For that one. I'll catch you later, Harko. As always, good to have you in, sir. And you can find the videos of exactly what I've seen, but it will be under orbs or UFOs. And no wonder. I mean, seeing... Oh, B2 is that? B4. What we got down here? Oh, we got some faint movement down there. Very good at spotting, guys. The tracker hasn't picked this one up.
Mode activated.
It should be bright enough. Look, I mean, compared to, say, that one up there, that should be able to pick that one up. Very interesting. It's picked up this one. Oh, all right. Keep your eyes on it. Oh, there we go. Now it decides to pick the damn thing up. Anyway, guys, thank you for that one, using the interactive grid. If you call out the grid references of something the tracker may have missed there, the mods can actually, they can highlight the interactive grid and drawing our eye to it. There, feed him exactly, Harko, Andrewski, tap tap. We do appreciate that, guys, the tap in, the shares, all that jazz. Helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. Just finishing up on the TikTok chat, then I'll be back over to you, tubers. Guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from there. And make sure you're following us, subscribed, because we're on pretty much every night looking live for evidence of the phenomena. But yeah, so I can imagine lots of people thinking that are going to look like it's going to think it's UFOs. Just seeing Starlink, you know, when it's in that tight line with the naked eye there. If you've never seen anything like it before, and again, this is recent for us to have, you know, satellites, you know, being deployed like that. No wonder you think it's a bloody UFO. He actually filmed it, but the phone is crap for filming such objects. They're currently looking for the filter there. Oh, honestly, trying to film some of these things with your phone, I see why we don't get any good coverage, good footage there. Belfast Island, long history of the strange. Have you seen anything that could be in the UFO category as well there? Lots of reports we get from your way. And so you need to turn your airplane tracker and then cause it pointing west on here. Oh yeah, to orientate. Well, the problem is that where we point the camera, it's always going to change. That's the issue with it, because technically most of the time we're pointing south, so I did think about orientating it that way. So yeah, the aeroplane tracker just tells us really where we are. One day we'll have it all linked in together. Where are we? Over on the TikTok, sorry, no, the tubes. Let's get in to see where we got to with you guys. Eating potato waffles, that was it there. The American ones, yeah, I think Danish waffles, are they, for that? The sweet ones. Living Light is in the house. How are you doing? And thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks.
Almost
guys.
missed that one. Alan's getting lazy. And Capricorn 1 is a great film if anyone gets a chance to watch it. John, we watched it for one of our movie clubs not that long ago, actually. I think it was only 2 or 3 ago. That was a good film. Well, so once a month, guys, we sit down and we watch an alien-themed film together. We have to press play on our own TVs, but we chat along in the Discord all at the same time, and we vote then on the next one. So if you've got any good suggestions, go over either to our website, you can put them in there, or into the Movie Club channel on the Discord there, the film name and what platform it's on. It's got to be one of the free to watch rather than paid for. But YouTube, Amazon Prime, Netflix are all good there to make some suggestions. You can all join us there. Got the link in bio there. The next one is going to be the last Friday of the month there. Is it Ryzen? It's coming up on one of the little notifications that do pop up and around. Where are we? Down here as well. There. SK is in the house. How are you doing? Where are we? There as well. Doug is in there. It's total gridlock there. Oh, little bloody adverse. On that. Are they not got any better? I keep pausing them. And Rich as well. How are you there? It seems to be busy up there near Lyra. It really does. Like, it's crazy. And the variability in it as well. So many stars. Quite emotional. They are stunning there. They did, Leroy. They beat them. At least it wasn't Argentina winning there, because that would have been a bit frustrating. Some of our Scots were buzzing for Spain too. Where are we over on here? Great view tonight. Thank you, Gandalf. Yeah, I've been trying to tweak the settings, but I don't think it's anything that I've done and can take credit for. I suspect it is just that it's a particularly clear night tonight. There's a lot of variability, isn't it, there? And watch the cup final in VR headset. Wow, felt like I was there on the pitch. I'm sure got a yellow card at one point. You're the streaker. You don't realise it's transported you there. You're one of those streakers across the pitch there. A great clear sky there tonight there. Best in a while. It really is, isn't it? It's lovely tonight. God, VR for events like that. I didn't even consider it. They got free red cards. Well, shifty a bunch there. How you doing, Marcus? Oh, Raf. We've had the tracker back for days, and you've not been in. And every time I have been waiting to see you pop up, because I know how much you like the tracker. The tracker is actually named the RAF 5000 because Raf loves the tracker so much, and it was his motivation the other week that forced me to kind of finish getting it fixed there, because every night he was so disappointed that we wasn't using the tracker. How are you doing, Raf? It's a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, guys. So we're doing our UFO at UAP at Skywatch tonight there. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge. So we're looking out for the strange and anomalous. We need to see these objects that we're tracking at the minute, or trying to track. It's a bit faint there. Let's take this one. We need to see these objects, very faint in there. Look, we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, or change their course or trajectory. That is how we'll know for sure that they are something a little bit stranger indeed. It does happen. It's rare, but that's why this is a hunt. So do keep yourself eyes on screen. Don't fully trust the tracker, and see if you can spot anything. There's quite a lot of atmospheric haze tonight, which is causing a lot of this twinkling, and that is setting a lot of force tracks at the second. Although it's picking up that, I wouldn't have even spotted this one without it. But look, it managed to catch that. So it is doing something there. And enjoying your weekend off there. I like to hear it, Raf. There, hard work, play hard as well. Where are we over on it as track here? Are you spot on there, Lethal? Yeah, I think it's the atmosphere. I've had to turn the sensitivity down so it can track a lot more, but because of that twinkle, that atmospheric haze, it is getting a little bit silly. But I'll try and do that one tonight. Thank you, Kate. You were here. I need that. Oh, Kate as well. I've got you, Alan. Alan can now wake you up, Kate.
Wake up, pathetic humans.
Alan was quite happy to start doing that. And true, it was the North Coast that I witnessed a low light pollution and could see the Milky Way on good nights. That is fantastic. I don't think I've seen the Milky Way with my naked eye. I think we're kind of seeing it on screen, but it's so hard to tell. Like, it's a little bit of a grey area. But yeah, I would love to see it with a naked eye there. And Dr. X there. Are UFOs real? Well, definitely the category of unidentified objects up there that nobody can explain is real. What those objects are is anyone's guess. As it is, it's flying around in the night sky. Can't say for sure. Is it some freak weather phenomena? Or is it a different version? There could be lots of explanations to these things, but the phenomena is now recognised by a lot of governments, including the UK, the US, and militaries there. And that means that, they're confused too. And when you read all their declassified reports and stuff, and some of the non-declassified ones as well, they seem to be just as confused as we are. Now, are there secret programs that know a little bit more? But the point I'm getting at is that it turns out that the more data you have on these things, the harder it is to disprove them. So it's not necessarily the case of that, oh, well, if we actually had extra measurements, we'd know that it's a satellite, we would know that it's something else. It actually goes the other way. The more data you have, the more anomalous it is. That's a nice
Zoom mode
bright
activated.
one right here. And also we've got a dynamic dots now, or tracking targets there as well. So the larger the object is, the target will be bigger, so helping us still be able to see the object, hopefully, as it is flying across the night sky. And I was literally just going to ask where Araf was. I know, he's been chilling, he's been putting his feet up there. And try commenting on Starshield. That isn't on a live stream on YouTube, and see if you get any responses. Oh, interesting. Yeah, is it something they're blocking out because it's new technology? It's very hard, though, to hide a lot of the details. Obviously, you know, the particular way that those things are made, but you can deduce a lot, can't you, by their movement, by their altitudes, their orbits, and things like that. You can deduce a lot about their purpose. I look forward to seeing if it works. It works. We'll see. Or maybe it needs to be louder. We'll get Alan to a scream there. And very high level of censorship on the Starshield topic, most social media. Hence why I'm on here. I find TikTok's really weird. I don't think it censors us for the normal things like that, but it does censor us for stupid stuff. Like the amount of hate speech warnings and dangerous streams, because its AI filter totally misinterprets stuff. A lot of our chat will just, they'll say hello to somebody and it'll block them. And you go, what? So it's kind of like a weird reverse filtering there. Harko as well, thank you for the gifts over there. Nearly missed those ones, appreciate that. And Carl too. All appreciate that goes back into the stream there, helping us improve what we're doing. But if you're just joining, as I said, it's our UFO UAP Skywatch coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. Do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from tonight there. And if you've got any questions, ask away. There's no silly questions here at all. We want to hear from you all. I'm just finishing up over on the TikTok chat, then I'll bounce back over to you YouTubers. And speaking of which, guys, if you are on the vertical over on TikTok, you're not getting the full experience. Go over, check out the tubes at the thing UFO. As you can see there, the screen, the night sky is a lot bigger, less of my face, but all sorts of extra contextual data that's very useful. It's also more stable most of the time there as well. So definitely check it out there. A very high level of censorship on this Starshield topic most. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Latest stuff there. Where did we get to? Over on the tubes with you guys. We got Raf coming in, didn't we, there? And just a look at all of those stars right there next to Lyra. There are so many, and this is just the ones that the light is managing to reach us still. If you zoom in, and you were powerful enough, you'd see more and more and more. So populated there. And official there, Dr. Claw, how are you doing there? We're all good here. How about yourself? Leroy as well. Any news on the missing scientists, generals, and politicians? Not yet. Not yet. It's gone a little bit quiet. At least they're not bumping any more of them off at the minute. But it does seem incredibly sus there. Talking of missing, where the hell is Zen? I know, haven't seen Zen in a while. Maybe Zen went home. Where are we down here as well? And it went all quiet about the scientists. The first one to come was a woman. It did go very quiet there. Oh, Essex. Wait, I was from Essex. We're now in Wiltshire. I moved about a year and a half ago from sunny Southend on sea. Do miss the estuary. But other than that, yeah, moving here, this is what kind of triggered the stream. This is a little bit of a UFO hotspot, which I didn't realise. A lot of history of it here. But then first night here, I looked out and I went, oh my God, all of the stars I can see. It blew my mind. So I was like, oh, I wonder if anybody else will have a look for them. But in Essex, I couldn't really see anything. I never paid much attention to it there. And Raf there, 64 watching and 56 likes there. Well done. That is actually a really good ratio there, guys. Do appreciate that. It is those likes, guys, the likes and shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And to say, the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they are going to share. Honestly, some of the ones that you guys have let us know about. That is the thing that has changed my understanding of the phenomena the most there. And Jeff as well, I like it there, official. Right, I'll try and remember that one, Jeff. Where are we in here? My name's Jeff. That popped into my head, but I thought, no, he wouldn't dare. He dared. And where are we down here there? And to be honest, I've never seen much, and one day I will. That's the thing, you've got to look. I never looked, never had. Now we're doing this and we are looking. we're seeing lots and lots and lots of strange things indeed. We're getting to our peak period now, so it should be lots of interesting things for us to see over the next month or two. It does seem suspicious that those strange disappearances and endings that happened to the sign. There is something. I don't know if they were all associated with that, but a lot of them were very, very sus. So I do think at least, 5 of them were what we suspect. And keep your eyes on the skies then, together. Exactly. Put it on a t-shirt one day. Where do we go? Oh, did Atlas get lost? Haven't heard anything there. It's on its way out there. So it's basically it cut through our solar system. If you imagine that big circular representation, all the stars going around the sun, it just cut right the way through and off and out. Now it's gone past Jupiter. It's in the outer solar system there. It was very, very strange, but it wasn't like slam dunk technological strange there. For me, it was still doing lots of stuff that did seem to be quite organic, and I can't think of a technological explanation for it there. But I always thought that Oumuamua, the first interstellar object, was much more interesting there, because that thing, it did technological looking things, and it didn't do organic looking things. Whereas you could argue kind of both for Atlas there. It did things that could be looking, oh, that's interesting, could be technological, but it also did things that did look very organic, so it's a little bit more confusing. Whereas Oumuamua, really, really strange there. No good explanations about that one. It didn't obviously get as much attention because it was a few years ago, though. And Billy Joe, thank you for feeding Alan there.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
How are we doing tonight? Where do we get to? No worries there. It's a good question there, Official. Lots of people are curious. I still don't think it was aliens. Yeah, I'm in open. I just don't think we've got enough knowledge to know 100%. But I wouldn't lean that way until we see something more convincing there. I think it was a soul-wandering washing machine with a load of odd socks in it. Come from personal experience there, Raf. Of dodgy socks are flying around there. It could have been. I think Oumuamua was really interesting because it was actually very close to sitting still. They're like the local standard of rest. So technically, Oumuamua didn't fly through our solar system. Our solar system flew through the part of space where Oumuamua was. So that, for me, finds quite interesting there. There has to be life out there somewhere. There really, really is there, isn't there, Dr. Claw? And I think mainstream science now is the astrobiologists do agree that one. We didn't know that there were other stars around, other planets around these other stars. So take Vega here. I don't think we know of anything around Vega in particular, but now we are looking around all these other sides. It does look like there are going to be planets around them all. So it's just a numbers game. Life in some form is going to be absolutely abundant. And even within the solar system there's evidence now. We just haven't really been looking much over the years. There's lots of anomalous radio signals. There are lots of these early detections from the atmospheres of those distant exoplanets there, looking like there could be life around them. I think we just need to get our technology a few levels up, and then we'll be able to confirm them. And that will be a fascinating time to be alive. And how are you doing, Chris, as well there? Hello again there. May I ask, what are shooting stars, and are they a regular occurrence? They are, yes. So the shooting stars are meteorites, basically. So rocks, debris, detritus, all that sort of stuff that's just up there in space. And you imagine they're flying around, we're flying around, and we sometimes go through patches of space that have, I don't know, maybe smashed up comets or smashed up asteroids there. So the bigger bit is now a lot of smaller ones, and we just fly through it, and therefore as we're flying through it, those things start to enter our atmosphere. And if you imagine, like, when you jump into water, you come from our atmosphere, which isn't as dense as water, and you can kind of, you feel you're going into a different medium there. It's very thick, isn't it, and dense, and if you get it wrong it can hurt quite a bit. Similar for the meteorites there. The near vacuum of space, there's nothing in the way, and then they hit our atmosphere, which is relatively quite thick, and then that friction cause them to heat up and explode. It's a nice bright one on the screen. Zoom into that. So that's what we're seeing. We're just going through a bit of a dirty patch of space, basically, and then they all burn up and we get to see them. So we haven't seen any yet tonight, but when we do, oh my god, they're amazing. They're so beautiful when they come across the screen there, all those different colours. How have you been there? And I've heard that the mantis beings are actually friendly, but I really don't know amongst the reptilians there. I've heard a lot of different things. I think it depends how mantis-y they look would be how much I could tolerate there. And Raf, Oumuamua, where did it scroll past? Sorry, Momoa, didn't they say that say they wanted to build something to catch up to it? I think they've talked about it, but it's going to be far too far unless we get better technology. But it'll be like looking out for the next one, so we get plenty of warning and build something to catch it next time, because it was strange. It was a very strange one there. And Bob Lazar has a weird lizard-looking jaw line. It resembles one of reptilian. I haven't noticed it, but I'm going to have a look. It may be. Excellent. Right, where we are over on the TikTok, let's catch up with you guys. If you're joining us, say we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of weird things in these skies. Do help us spot them. Call out the grid reference of anything the tracker may have missed, or maybe it's on the tracker and we're not paying attention to it. And if you're lucky there, the mods will highlight the interactive grid and I can zoom in on the good stuff. But do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and also make sure you're following, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies is this, it's the UFO UAP Skywatch. Cloudy nights is an alien radio signal hunt, searching the hydrogen line with our own dish there, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET's out there, that's where they'll put the message. It's where the WOW signal was heard as well, and plus many, many more. And if the moon's up, that's what it looks like. Haven't done it in a while yet, but I'm sure we'll have a moon stream coming up soon and see some strange things on, off and around that too. So do say hello, let us know where you're watching from as well. You were here. Thank you, Kate. Perfectly positioned there. And been into UFO topics for 40 years. The US government is now using systems in space beyond current knowledge. Very interesting. I've not been a big one of like secret space programs. I've not kind of gone down that one. I don't fully find it plausible yet, but I'm more open to all of that sort of stuff than I was, because I just assumed they're big, expensive, and they're noisy. So you'd kind of know. But the more you look into it, and the more you look at was it the parallel launch facility at Vandenberg Air Force Base, so the Slick 6 pad there for the space shuttle, and you're like, man, you could have got a lot of things going and nobody would have really noticed, especially back in the day. That could have been kept under wraps there. So I'm open. What sort of things do you think they may be up to up there? I do think there's something going on. Specifically what? I'm struggling to collapse down to specifics, but in general, is life out there 100%? Is life visiting us here on Earth? Top 90s. Is it regularly visiting us? Is it here amongst there? That's the more specific we get, the harder I find it to have a lot of conviction on it, but I think there is something going on. There is a fire for the smoke. And Bay there, did you watch that video I sent you? Oh, I did watch it last night. I think it must have come off beforehand there. That was amazing. That actually was really, really good. So unless there was a concert on the other side of the horizon from your video, like that... Who else caught it on the Discord, that one there? What did you guys think? Because those lights in the sky, that was just... Unless there was, as I said, a stage show below that causing that, then that is very, very strange there. Were you using a laser? Because I saw the green light at first. I'm like, oh, bloody hell, that's even more crazy. But were you pointing the laser? The green, was that you? Trump jumped on Space Force as our ill branch of the military there. Likely based on a breakthrough. Could well be. I mean, they do talk about old Reagan wasn't he, the Star Wars project there, the SDI project, that may well have not just been for the Russians. It could have been something else as well there. And that Miko there, is this camera owned by you? Yeah, it's about 10 metres in front of me in my garden. Live, I said, from Wiltshire in the UK. We can spin it around. In fact, I will spin it around. Let me just pause the track up for a second and let's spin this camera around. Hold your hats. There we go. Oh, too fast. No, a little bit back. There we go. Let's get Vega more in the middle, and we'll turn the tracker back on. There we go. Ooh, we're having a sulk. And let it find some more targets. There's a lot of atmospheric twinkling tonight, which seems to be giving us a bit of false positives with the tracker. In fact, should I turn up the brightness a touch? I'm going to try 1%. There we go. Let's just give us a little bit more chance of seeing those fainter objects there. Just reading the YouTube chat. I will be back. Thank you, Kate, for that. Yeah, I'm across 2 chats tonight, guys. So do say hello. Ask away your questions. We want to hear where you're all watching from as well. I'm through the TikTok at the minute, and I'm just going to finish that up, and then I'll bounce back over to the YouTube. So it might take me a second, but do ask away. I want to hear from you all there as well. And Dodo is in the house. How are you doing? And thank you for the gifts there as well. And DJ Lethal too. Appreciate those. And... And exactly, do keep saying hello, even if I'm in the other chat, do keep asking your questions. So we'll scroll up and get through them eventually there. Andrew, what if pyramids existed around the world because people had collective consciousness and mind internet? That it could well be the case, couldn't it? There are meant to be many more ways that we are connected. And the way how it's looking, there might be something to that. I mean, lots of spiritual, previous cultures, spiritual angles, and all that sort of stuff. Oh, good use of the grid there. What can I see down here?
Zoom mode
Is
activated.
it just... Oh, yeah, there's a faint one. Yeah, they talk about these sorts of things. And again, now science is starting to look. It does feel like there could be something going on to it there. Especially the fact that those similar ideas. You can get convergent evolution and all that sort of stuff. That can, people can have the same problem, think in very similar ways. But, I don't know, there does seem to be some sort of connection there between all of those cultures. Where did we get to in the chat? So it's jumped ahead on me now. And Vega, exactly, Doddle. And Annie Oak, how are you doing there? What's the green stripes and the red stripes for? Brilliant question. So that is our tracking software, and it is basically identifying movement and then tracking its path, predicting a straight path in front of it, because that's how a satellite has to operate. And then, as it moves along that path, just like a normal man-made satellite, it stays green, going, hey, this is not doing anything anomalous. We can't say anything else. If it goes red, then that means look a little bit closer. Now, we are getting a few false positives on that, but... we are training the tracker, so it should get better over time. So yeah, keep an eye on them, but essentially the red ones could be the interesting ones there. And Alexi, what is this about? So it's about UFOs. We are looking to the night sky, and we're looking at all of these objects. The majority of them will be man-made satellites and all that sort of things. There's a lot of those up there, but it's struggling. Yeah, lost that one. Why is it losing that one? Its brightness is changing. I've turned down the sensitivity a bit. There we go. Might get a few more false positives though. But yeah, so we're looking out for these things. We're looking for that strange behaviour to tell us that they are something a little bit different. But UFOs, UAP, all of that sort of jazz up there in the night sky. And on a different subject, that may be connected to a psilocybin rebuilds damaged neural pathways. See, I didn't know it did that, but that is interesting. I know there's lots of interesting stuff to it, but not that in particular. And right there, no, we was amazed by it. Then a week later, more was seen at the front of the house. So it wasn't in the same location. That is... I'm going to need more. I need to know roughly where in the world that was. That is phenomenal, because that is possibly one of the best videos I've seen as well there. And Mike, what's software? So it's one that we're building ourselves. We might at some point, once it's stable and ready, make it available. We do make a lot of our stuff available to everyone. So hang out on our Discord, link in bio if you want to join that, and we'll put it in there when it is available. But lots of cool things over in the Discord. Personal experiences section where you guys are sharing your accounts. I think Bay posted as well. No, that was on TikTok, wasn't it? You did post that one. But yeah, lots of people have posted their stories, so it's definitely worth checking out. See, that one's a misidentified one. Here's a false positive. It didn't get the course quite right, and it's varied. So keep your eyes on it, though. Could still do something strange. Only takes that last-minute hesitation. But yeah, we do make it available. Currently, we have our SETI SETI software, so our SETI radio is always going. You can log in and check that all the time. Check out and log any anomalous signals if you want to do that. Our sensor dashboard tells you all of like the Schumann resonance there, solar activity there, solar wind speeds, geomagnetic index, solar flare data, all of that stuff. Jesus, how many gone? We've got 10 on screen now at what time? That is, that's pushing our record. It's getting close. So yeah, we've got that. We've also got our flight radar as well, so you can bring that up during a stream. And this tells us, basically, is there any air traffic in the local area for us? So if we do get a sighting, we can confirm that it isn't an aircraft as well. That's available to you guys. We've also released our dog whistle as well over on the site. Now, you'll need good speakers for it to work. But essentially, this is a passive stream. We are just seeing what is going on in the night sky. But there are ways that people report have been successfully communicating or encouraging the phenomena to come in. And the way in which that's done is a number of ways, really, but CE5, this consciousness connection, is one of them. We've got a group of people looking into that, but also the dog whistle, is a way. So frequencies and tones apparently have a really good effect at summoning, making the phenomena appear. I mean, think of old Close Encounters there, and the music there. They were kind of onto something. So we, if I actually load it up right now, I can play it. We've not got our speakers hooked up yet, but we have got the dog whistle features ready to to go, essentially. So if we turn that on, you won't see it over on the TikTok, you'll hear it, but if you look down here on the YouTube, that will show you the tones on screen. So look, in a lot of them you can't hear with the human ear, but I'll play our test tone now, and you can see it all kind of go. But where is it? Tell if I... Oh no, do I get... There we go. I had it on mute. So yeah, we can play all sorts of different, prime number sequences, various frequencies, various patterns and stuff that have had a report. So once we get the speakers hooked up, we can maybe proactive and start to encourage the phenomena in on stream as well. And that is available for you guys as well on the site. So you'll be able to use that if you're doing your own UFO hunting, and plus all of the other tools as well. So yeah, I'm sure the tracker will be available to you guys at some point once it's stable. And Beta, we didn't use no lasers, and there were no concerts or events in the air. So that is interesting. So that green line, because I thought it was you signaling with a laser, because I'm going to have another look at that. It's very, very interesting there, but very, very interesting. And where is the Discord there? I don't think I've been on since yesterday. Oh, then that's why you didn't hear about the new shooting star tracker, Kate. Where is it in the Discord? I don't know if it actually was. Bay posted... Oh, you sent it to me, didn't you, Bay? I'll have to... I reposted it. Because if it was public, then I would have reposted it on our TikTok, so you'd have to catch it over on our reposts there. And Georgie as well there. Have you updated your software there? And do we see tracking traces now? Exactly. Bang on. That is exactly what's going on and what we're doing there. So we've got that. We've got our dog whistle. We've got the ISS, the shooting star tracker, and that... What else? Oh, and the aircraft tracker and all those things now as well. There's a few other things that we're working on. At some point, we're hoping that the tracker, once we get it a bit better, like this one's a false positive there, once it gets a bit better, what we're going to do is get it to identify the stars that are on screen, so it knows where it's looking, and then with the fact that it knows where it's looking, and also tracking those objects, then we'll then be able to label the known satellites over those objects as well. But that's going to be a little bit away, sadly, that one. It's a work in progress. We'll get it there. And Snooky as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? Kate as well, coming in with the shares. It is the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And then that is how we all hear all the stories you otherwise don't get to hear. So the more eyes and minds on the phenomena, the better. The more we can all piece this puzzle together there. Alan, thank you, Aniok there. Thank you for the question there. Watching from Liverpool. I love that. How are your skies tonight? And separate subject. Almost every virus connects with nitronic receptors there. Receptors there, and if nicotine is already there, that is interesting. I know nicotine's good for certain viruses, or prevents you from getting certain viruses. So interesting on that one. Any signs of aliens? We had some very interesting the last couple of nights. Now we wouldn't have seen this without the tracker, but actually it was. I think that was a faint shooting star down there. Did anybody else catch that? I can't remember where I got to with that one. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Ancient Ancestors knew a lot, possibly there. But, we have a few different arcs that have been tracked which don't appear to fit satellites at the minute. So that is quite good. And then this caught you as well. That was a big one there. B2 untracked, good spot in there, Lethal. And NG, are you talking about summoning demons? Well, hopefully not anyway, but this is the thing, isn't it? Now, is the old school religious, that's a bright one up there, look, old school religious interpretation of angels and demons, that can map very, very closely to the phenomena that we're experiencing now. Now, is the biblical definition more correct than our current one, or is it just a group of people, with the references and the understanding they had at the time trying to interpret it there? So maybe in that sense that we're all talking about the same thing, if that's the case. But yeah, so apparently, they do respond to this sort of thing there. My nerd is showing, hanging out a bit. Where's the video? So I think it was one I would have reposted yesterday. Sent you the other one too. Oh, excellent. I'll have to have a look at that one as well there, Bay. And have you heard about the DMT laser experiment? I have. And I'm more open to DMT than I was. In fact, I'm very interested in all of that. But it's complicated. And it feels like one of those ones I need to actually experience. It's very interesting there. And A-Up is in. How are you doing there, A-Up? So, because you've been feeling so tired, you and Kate, lately, Alan has come in with some assistance.
Wake up. Pathetic humans.
Thank you, Alan. So we've got you that one ready. How are you doing? How many stars out? But oh, you're over in Guernsey tonight. Oh, love it. And Grey One's picking up something. It's just something we can't see with the naked eye, or an error. Possibly. So it works on what the pixels are doing there. So it might be something that we're missing. There might be a subtle change to it. I think a lot of it is it's the twinkling is giving away. So if we zoom in quite a lot, you can see these stars look like they're jumping. I think it's detecting that as movement. I should be able to filter out for that easy enough. In fact, it should have already been doing that. But I think get a little bit of atmospheric hazing. But that doesn't mean that there are some things up there that maybe this is getting that we otherwise wouldn't see, or maybe it was so subtle we wouldn't notice it. It's a very, very good point. And Howie, thank you, Adam, for the gifts there. Guys, gifts to subs, the members, the merch, all that jazz does go back into the stream, helping us improve what we're doing there. And Lethal coming in with the shares there. And NG, there is no such a thing as old school in interpretation. Yes, there is. That's how the human brain works. You know, we as humans are imperfect computers, right? And we are only as good as the software we have, which is programmed to us for our culture and for our experiences. So that's why everybody can report different things. That's why subjectivity is a thing. And the same works over groups of people on timescales. So one of these explanations may be more true than the other. I don't know which is going to be the case, but it is definitely possible. And I do feel quite likely that over the years, humanity, again, different cultures with their different software, are seeing the same thing and interpreting it in slightly different ways, but trying to explain the same point with it. Now, that might not actually be the case, and maybe, for example, the biblical demons, maybe they are a real separate phenomenon. I don't know, but when you look through the descriptions, I don't think it's obvious that it isn't there. I definitely think it's something that needs a lot more research into it. The more I hear, the more I think, you know, the fairy, the fae in folklore and all of that sort of stuff, I think very, very interesting. You know, you strip away what our assumption of what it is, you know, our interpretation, how we're trying to understand it, to go back to what is objectively described, lights in the sky, movements and all this stuff. Apparently a lot of angel references in the Bible, I think the majority apparently, aren't necessarily humanoid. They are balls of light, which is exactly the phenomenon that we're seeing. But you fairy, the fae, little people taking people away to distant realms. It's no surprise, I think, that as soon as we as humans started to look up to space, trying to considering sending man in metal spaceships to other planets, that we started to label this phenomena as beings from other planets in metal spaceships. You know, like it seems a bit too convenient for me. Now, I do think that could be a big part of what's going on there, and I think it's like with the dimensional stuff as well. I don't think it's just going to be one thing, but yeah, we have to account for how our brains work with it there. And similar one, like a few minutes ago, there went up C4 to 1 there. Really? God, I'm still missing a few there. Mark as well, thank you for the follow. And out there's all good there. Good. Have we missed being here there? We missed you there. Little grandchildren make Nanny sleepy there. No worries though. But as sleepy as looking after these guys. And NG, why not accept? You'll never know what the lights are, because that is, if everybody had that attitude, you know, nothing would get done. You know, we just sit with what it is. We go, we're good, we're fine, and nobody would ever push anything any further. You know, and then we'll die out because we'll get caught out by things. You know, we have to explore. You know, and we probably won't know 100%. Like that, I can say definitely that, you know, it's going to be very unlikely that we'll even be capable of conceiving it. You know, and I don't think us sitting here tonight is going to get us, you know, 10% closer, but it is starting to chip away at that. It's moving forward in the best way that you can. I don't think it's going to be impossible for us. I think we're going to get a version of these things, but you know, we don't know 100% of everything. What we do is we collapse down to functional definitions of things. So good enough. I mean, you know, if scientists come out and say, look, actually, a lot of the orbs that we see, they are probably this plasma-based life form, because that's where it's looking, it's where the science is looking. And I go, well, that's a good enough for me for that part of it there. Now, I've got a lot more questions. Plasma-based life, we've never seen that before. Opens up a whole other thing. So we're never going to get the 100%. It's just going to have more questions. But we can start to chip away at the things, can't we? And what is the B2 Purple Star Solo fish. That is a Vega, 26 light years from us here on Earth. Big, bright, beautiful purple Vega is absolutely stunning there, isn't it? It's our stream companion for the summer months. Where are we in the chat here? Expression. I try. And the purple star is there. And we report different things because we've been brainwashed in different ways. Well, you use the word brainwashed. I will use the word programmed, but I don't even mean the sense programmed in like a malicious sense. That's what culture does. That's what we're doing. That's what we spend our childhood doing. We're learning the software of how to interact with the universe. And again, that software is never going to be 100% right, and it's going to be different for each of us in different cultures because we have different environments and different things to consider. So we learn these things because that's how the brain works. It's worked for everybody else, so it's probably safe to use that for a while, but it doesn't mean we can't update it and we can't tweak these things and we can't adjust it. You've got to work with our biases, because otherwise, the other option is that we have to figure out absolutely everything for ourselves all of the time. We can't take anybody's words for anything, and then we ain't got the time for that. We ain't got the time. We have to trust people to a certain degree, so we have to have those rough definitions, the things that society provides for us until in your individual life you come across it not working, and that is an indicator for you that you need to put in the resources and look a little bit more and look under the hood and see if you can push things forward. And a cluster of eyes, that could be another one there. A lot on screen. X, definitely there. Send you thank you there, Bay. I'll have to have a check of those in a bit there. A lot more in the chat at the second there. And said MP, thank you for the follow there where you're joining us from. I think people often confuse brainwashing for the indoctrination, and that is in fact present. So yeah, definitely there's a conflation there. But there's also, this is the thing, when you open it up, there's very legitimate reasons that we do that in society, and there's very legitimate reasons that we scorn people who don't think like us. There's a lot of biological reasons, but like using everything dogmatically, there are always points when a system does not work anymore. And whether it's in our culture, we don't just jump out in front of cars. Because then that slows down everybody's traffic. That's something that we've indoctrinated into part of our culture. We use zebra crossings most of the time. And then if somebody does just cut across selfishly in front of traffic and everyone has to slam their brakes on, we all go, oh, a bit of social judgment. So those mechanisms are useful, but they can always be abused, misused, and things. But then they're not 100%. That is the thing. That is where if you always have to religiously stick to them, there are situations when you go, I'm running away from a man with a gun. I'm going to cut in front of that traffic there. You've got to know when to bend the rules. And that's why it's tricky. But we definitely conflate these things for across the board. And X there, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Enough knowledge. Yeah, it's got to be good enough. That's the thing. We can't know everything all of the time there. And explore yourselves and forget about computers and just look up. That's where the truth is. So, I think they're good starting points, NG. I can't complain about that at all. I think, we often look outside of ourselves for everything, when a lot of the time it is inside of us. But I would still say there's interest in looking up to the night sky there as well. But I think for a lot of things, I would agree. And the greatest minds in AI don't even know how it works. Energy can create intelligence and life. That is true. It's a bit of a black box at the minute. They've created it, but they don't fully know actually how it works. Psychology is the same. It's a black box mystery. Psychology wasn't accepted as a science because you can't necessarily repeatably measure it. It's only recently kind of been accepted because it is just harder. You can say I've observed this, but you can't say 100% that you're always going to get the same outcome. That's why there's different schools of thought, and there's a lot of bad practice in psychology as well. But yeah, AI is not obvious to me. We haven't defined what life is. We haven't defined what sentience is properly. We have dictionary definitions. We have functional ones. But we don't fully know. So how can we say that AI isn't yet there? Same thing there. We are not a software. We are human. So it's an analogy. It's an analogy. That's how you navigate the world. So what we're doing, rather than going into the details, is you apply a structure to of something existing that people understand what it is. You apply that, and then people go, all right, I know what you're talking about now, because that's an 80% fit. So that's why we're going to give a comparison on our analogy. We are not literally software, but you'll be surprised at how much of an overlap there is. We have our biology, our hardware, and then we have our software of how our brains work. We are programmed, we learn things, and I think that's a very good description for it there. And as I said, I think it's actually, we've got to get realistic about what it is that we're doing. And I'm not saying I'm right. That is the key here as well. This interests me, and I think this is the direction to go. But I can't say that I am 100% right on anything here. I'm just a guy in a green room. But I do think we can't... if we're going to put ourselves down as special and go, we're human, we're special, that's a cop-out. That's not specific. That doesn't tell us anything. We may be special. But we have to have reasons and evidence for that to support it as well. Otherwise, you can look to those analogies there. It's not a literal translation. Exactly there. processes. And it's not about us being software, it's about the software with electrically can be a life there. But this thing, you know, it's what is those definitions like? What is it there? You know, what is the ingredients for life? Because there are always going to be a case where you think that there's always the outlier case, the kind of, you know, the exception that proves the rule almost with these things. But we don't have good definitions of those things, do we, as well? And where are we? The diversion. Oh, there was a diversion, A3 towards A4, right. A3 towards A4, right, okay. I didn't see that one, but what time is it on the screen now? So it's about 10 past 12. I'll have a look through that one later there. Tracker just picked it up. Damn it, you guys saw it and I didn't. Adam there, what are the green and red dashed lines? Are the red ones hostile? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? It's like little Space Invaders games. So we're tracking moving objects in the night sky. We don't know what they are necessarily. All we know is that they're flying around in our atmosphere, well, in orbit, and they're reflecting that sun's light back down to us. So we're looking out for the ones that act in certain ways that we know that satellites and space junk can't, therefore telling us that could be unidentified. So the green ones are acting as if, you know, they are just in a casual orbit. You know, they're displaying behaviors that could mean that they are satellites and things. If they go red, then either the tracker's got it wrong or they are ones that take a little bit more attention. It's a good question. Where are we there? We build reflections of ourselves there, and we don't understand ourselves, and we build things the same. We 100% we do. We impart all of that stuff. And I often wonder when it comes to computers and stuff, because we like to see computers and mechanics as very, very human, you know, technological as opposed to organic, like the real opposite of life. But what if we are just replicating the world and the universe and how all of that works, you know, through silicon, but it still works in a very similar way? I think when you start to look at quantum physics, it strikes me that maybe the universe is computational. Not necessarily that we're in a simulation directly, but maybe we've built computers based on, you know, actually how things are there. And Fulgia as well, thank you for the follow. That's the special one there. Like Buzz Aldrin, yeah, NG. And turtles on top of turtles, all the way down. Might be. Life must be abundant in the universe. It's like building blocks for the existence everywhere. But that is it. We didn't know this before, so that's why they went, oh, well, you know, we don't know if life's out there, but the building blocks are out there. There's lots of evidence out there. There's lots of strange signals. It could be abundant. Oh, 11 on the screen. That is our new record for the season, guys, I think. Right, let me bounce back over to the YouTubes. You guys have been patiently waiting for me to catch up with you guys. Where did we get to? Sorry, there's a few behind over here. Got to Raffin's socks, didn't we? Where did we get to? Got to the Bob Lazar ones. Dr. Greer gives me weird returning vibes. Actually, Rachel, yeah, I'll go with that. And Greer keeps his mobile on his belly. That is like the best insult, isn't it? You've got like a phone holster. There. Good whaling, how are you doing, Emilio? Good to see you in there. Always trust your gut feelings there. The gut is an interesting one, and the gut again it's a loose fit. It's a broad net. You know, it's designed to not be right 100% of the times, but just to save you 100% of the time. You know, so it's overly cautious either way, but it's a very good guide. You know, you're being programmed as you experience life, as you go through life, you know, and that sort of subconscious programming comes through, I feel, in the gut. And there has been something going on for millennia. Rachel, I do think so. Pyramids are the easiest shape to make anyway. I mean, I've tried making some, and they're very difficult, but they're a very resilient shape, aren't they? If you do want to make something that's going to survive the test of times and all the cataclysms, that's a very good shape to do it there. And Chris as well, my gut feeling is that there's a power source of sorts in Antarctica. There is going to be so much interesting shit under that ice. There really, really is. I wouldn't roll anything off. The Earth's been around for a fucking long time. Life has been around for a bloody long time, relatively speaking, for Earth. There's been plenty of times when the world has been habitable enough for life to advance, even not necessarily human, but, you know, definitely with us humans as well. So there's a plausibility to it. Humans definitely didn't make the pyramids. These days we can't even build houses. I don't need the aliens to have built the pyramids. I think, you know, humans can cut stone, they can stack it, but if you're telling me that you know, society, the Egyptian dynastic Egyptian society built that and they didn't even have the wheel, I mean, The math don't math with that, you know. It's possible. I can't say 100%, but my gut just goes, nah. You've got it wrong. And at the end of the day, we have so little data points from history that to have any sort of conviction around arguments is going to be difficult. Exactly, Antarctica is more than we might think. Yeah, it's been in over its life. It's been in much more hospitable positions on the globe, hasn't it? There, ET is calling, living like that. I'll catch you later, there, Rachel. We'll have the tracker to ourselves. Yes, Raf, you can at home track anything you like once it's ready. There, Nick is in. How are you doing there? And I'll catch you later, Gandalf, as well. Oh, I missed the moving one there. Bottom right corner is moving upwards. Oh, maybe you spotted that one. Beautiful. So I missed those ones. I was too much in the chat. Fair play. Anyone who can actually stand up and look at a laser and DMT. Yeah. I thought DMT as well took you to like another realm. So like, you know, where's the consciousness for that one? I haven't got experience with that one, so I can't fully comment on it there. What are the two red lights? One at the top and one at the so those ones, sadly, that one there and that one there, they are dead pixels on the camera, basically. I got the cheapest one I could, second hand, and now I slightly regret it. And how are we doing, TF? Good to see you there. Found any alien craft yet, Terry? Not yet. We have had some interesting movements, but not slam dunk. Then how have you been? Where are we? Down here there. Hoping for more. And any fast movers tonight yet? Not. Oh no, you guys saw something a minute ago that I didn't see, so I maybe is the answer, but I don't know if I saw it there. I think our next breakthrough will be through frequencies noise, and we can control anything if done correctly. And a lot of ooh, got it. Where's it gone there? Debris is showing tonight. There is a lot of movement up there tonight. But frequency could be, I think, a very interesting angle. Part of the tech tree that we haven't explored tonight there. And why not tack satellites and near-Earth objects and overlay them on the tracker? That will give you the answers to the questions. Oh, bang on, Terry. And it'll be a bit boring for the people who believe in aliens. No, not exactly. This is the thing. That would actually be brilliant, and it is part of our list. So what we've got to do is we've got to get the tracker a little bit better. There's a few different, as we're seeing tonight, we're getting a lot of these false ones tonight where we're getting a lot of atmospheric haze. So we've got to get the tracker a little bit better at doing it. And then once we've got that, then it is matching the stars to the night sky. So we know where the software will know where it's pointed, and then we can overlay the actual the labels of, if they are listed, what they are. I think that'd be a really, really good feature for it. And we could be a mere bubble in a multiverse of bubbles. Well, exactly. The true, whatever the true reality of things is, I think we'll be lucky if we could grasp it, even if we were told there. But I think the universe within a universe, you know, I think could be an interesting angle. And again, I don't actually know how much I would say I'd believe that on a scale of 1 to 100, but we're matching up things that could be plausible with the knowledge that we have at the time. And that is not necessarily saying that that is what the case is. And this is what a lot of, like, you know, people of a more scientific disposition are. The way their brains work is, you know, they have to go through the correct path as they perceive it. They're step after 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You'll find a lot of us are probably more creative, and therefore we're able to hold concepts. So we don't necessarily have to commit, but we can hold that possibility open to explore it. Maybe that'll be useful later. I don't know what for yet. You know, it's that sort of thing, and that is a very different skill set. Both are very useful, but you know, you've got to know which tool you're applying to when, and that is the thing, isn't it? It's you know, can we explore and have a conversation about these things? You know, it's not us saying that there's 100% of what's going on. It's us exploring it, and maybe we can rule it out or rule it in or make it a little bit either way. There, we could be, no, I've done that one there. And Conway's A Game of Life is a 0-player cellular automation. You set up an internal grid of alive and dead cells and watch it evolve based on 4 simple rules there. Despite the basic rules, the grid produces incredibly complex and unpredictable and lifelike patterns, making it famously Turing complete. I haven't heard of that one, but I think life itself is going to be far less mysterious than we assume, than we've been led to believe. So I think it's probably one of these just things that happen. You know, if I leave a cup of drink on the side of my bedroom window for a few days, I will come back and there will be mold. It just fucking happens, lads. You know, civilization emerges when it's been hospitable enough for life for long enough. I think life gets complex, you know, and now that we're seeing life, or signs, I should say, of life in more and more places, indicators there that all those clues, then yeah, I think it's a numbers game. I think the numbers are in our favours right there. And WRX there, awesome tech, love it. Thank you. It's very much a work in progress, but we're improving it. Yeah, we've got our live tracker on now. We've got our said local flight radar there. Tell us what is locally in our airspace if we do get something we want to confirm away there. ISS notifications coming up, and also things like that. The interactive grid. So a lot more changes there. And again, the dog whistle as well. We'll turn that one back on in a bit. And Terry there, you haven't been, if you haven't been programmed through life to believe in falsehoods, and you are uneducated, then your gut feeling is definitely something you shouldn't go with. So what is an interesting thought on that one. Like, you know, the gut feeling is only as good as your experience there. You know, that is the thing. I don't, to my understanding, like, I wouldn't say that it has access to knowledge that you haven't learned and haven't earned there, like that. But the problem is, it's little things like this, to believe in falsehoods. That's assuming that we know what is true and what is false. Very few things can be compressed down to a binary yes or no. It's like when they're talking about the things in the news and going, oh, well, it's fake news. Well, it's fake. By what criteria is it fake news? A lot of these things aren't necessarily openly put out there, you know, as they're people exploring other ideas, and they may have evidence for it. It's counter the narrative, but who is it to say that that is actually outright false? And there has been so many times throughout history that the counter narrative has been the correct one, you know, and we shouldn't be promoting systems or processes, not even on the political front, but like how we operate ourselves in life, by trying to rely exclusively on, you know, falsehoods and definites and things like that. You know, if life is far more ambiguous than that in the world. It's definitely our experience of it. You know, we have to get better with good enough, but also know that that's what we're doing. Like, you know, good enough, and I know it's good enough, because then as soon as it isn't good enough, I can change it, and I'm not too precious about it. You know, you've got, for something to be collapsed and to be known and to be a truth, you've got to rely on all those other people and rely that they're 100% perfect all of the time with it. And I just don't think we're anywhere near that in human society yet. And where are we? Where did it get to? And the giants also helped with the appearance. So that could be an interesting part of it there, the giant angle to this. I'll catch you later there, Janie, as well. And Rusko as well. Good evening there. I hope you're well. We are all good here there. I'm all for global warming if it reveals Antarctic secret. There you go. Swings and roundabouts. Let's have to look on the plus side, guys. And those dead pixels are some nice flavour to the view. They do. It's tempting to put a few more in, isn't it? Looks like paprika. Exactly. And exactly. Where are we? I think we lost our correct direction for mathematics, language, and a sense of self a very long time ago, and hopefully we can get it back. One with Earth. So I would agree. I don't necessarily think we're going off course. So I think what we're doing is we are in the throes of natural learning, and that means getting things wrong, sometimes quite drastically. But I believe the definition of sin isn't, you know, like a moral judgment. It is being off the mark, and it's a brilliant way, I think, of wording this, because if you hear all of like, you know, the religious stuff, and you go, and you hear it in that way, you go, actually, that makes a bit of sense. But if you think of it this way, if you're learning to shoot a bow and arrow, right, and you've never done it before, once you've got the strength and you've got that figured out, you know how to let go, and it goes, the first thing you go, right, I'm going to point at that target, and then, oh, it's all the way to the left. What do you do then? In your ignorance, right, you go, right, and you're trying to recalibrate for that. It was over, right, okay, let's move it to the right. Now it's too far to the right. Bollocks, okay, that was too far. Let's go back a bit to the left. More to the left, but not quite, you know, and you're constantly trying to build yourself in. And we do that in society. You know, we're bouncing to this, to that, to this, to that, to this, to that. And if you look at, I think, the overall arc of human progression, we are kind of getting there. But this is where it's dangerous to try and think that there is an objective right or wrong, and that we know what the fuck that is. It's like, that's where I have an issue. I don't think anybody knows what objectively right or wrong is in the minute. We are still negotiating what that might be, because our existence is complex, our environment is complex, we are complex. So yeah, I think we just do the lazy way out, calling things good and bad a lot of the time. Exactly there. Where are we? Down here. Is this your own custom system? Tank, it is, yeah. So this is one we had last year, but it hadn't worked since. So, yeah, the next step, is to get it to recognise the stars, so it knows where it's looking, and then overlay the actual satellite data as well. So, yeah, it's all ours. We're working on it. That's why it's got a bit of crap, and it gets it wrong there. And where are we? Down here as well. Do you want to come to my birthday party? It is a fun one. Fried egg or poached egg? Oh, fried, because it's easier. Chat is a feisty. Sometimes it is. It's always interesting, isn't it? And where are we there? Everybody's been drinking for the World Cup, exactly. And Rich there. Why is the king's tomb in the pyramids off centered in the chamber? I mean, it's a good question. They definitely look more functional, don't they? That is always something that struck me. I don't think we've quite got it right with the electric pyramid theory there. But have you checked out Land of Chem, Jeffrey Drum? I think he might be onto a winner with that one. Very, very interesting to me, that one. The idea that essentially they're just various chemical plants, used to make certain, methane and fertilizers and all this sort of stuff there. Very interesting angle. I do lean into that one. When they're all about measuring to a T. Exactly. There is a time and place for precision. It is very, very, very useful for us. It's what's allowed us to advance, but not everything is that, Like, what do you do... If you're curious about something and you've got very little knowledge on it there, right, what do? You give it a Google, right? That is a big wide net, and you do it in a very bad way, right, until you learn what specifics you need to know. And then eventually you'll narrow that down to one web address where you can get the information you want, So when you don't know the specifics of the information there, you need to have a big blunt instrument. That's the best way that we can start. If you're always trying to just go through very, very, very specific websites, that's going to take you a lot longer. It's part of our filtration process. You have a time-lapse on the stream. No, so it's not time-lapse, sadly. I mean, we're recording this now, and we can use the video as a time-lapse. But no, this is just coming in as live there. But think that we had the truth. And due to, as I say, our ignorance there, we threw it away for belief in religion, science, and we lost our ancient ancestors' gift. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. But I think what, for me, what's more plausible is if we were in a different place, then... I think what happened, we probably did get reset by some catastrophe. Oh my God, there we go, words out. Something like that, reset us, and now we're going through that learning process again there as well. I mean, like, so therefore, and I think that the previous cultures, they probably would have had, the religious process and all this sort of stuff as well. Like, they're our best attempt each time to try and make what is a very chaotic and dangerous world slightly less chaotic and dangerous. And, we're just getting better and better over time. And, if there was a pre-existing civilization that was more advanced, they would have had to have gone for it too. And that's why I think the aliens probably wouldn't judge us too much. They'd be looking at us going, hey, we know exactly where you're at because we've been there as well. And, what are your thoughts on Graham Hancock? I like Graham. He's got some interesting things to say. I don't know if again it's 100%, but again, people don't have to be. Like somebody can provide a real value to the world, to our knowledge, to our communities, to, can really push the needle, and they can only be 5% right, sometimes 1% right, because that 1% can still just be so important. So I think it's good for us to kind of like, we're going start to listen to people and go, right, that makes sense. Okay, but that doesn't quite fit, and maybe that's a me problem. Maybe I haven't heard it, but it doesn't mean the other stuff isn't of interest there. That's how we we trim all these things down. We put them up for debate there. I think the Egyptians stumbled across the pyramids and claimed them as their own. They can't comprehend how they could cut the stone with the bronze tools. Never mind the accuracy. It's the accuracy, the scale, there. I think you're right there. I think they're probably a lot older in that sense there. And I think they stumbled across them there. Not Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch, he's one of the first geologists there that was, dating the Sphinx a lot earlier than recorded. His wife, sadly, I can't remember her name, very great scientist in her own right there. She has a really interesting theory. That essentially all of the others, so not the pyramids, but all of the other temples and things, that they were basically packed in mud brick stones to protect them from a catastrophe, and then the dynastic Egyptians later on discovered them and started to basically unpack them and claim them as their own rather than build them. And when you see it like that, go, right, there was a big catastrophe that an ancient civilization therefore, well, let's protect our stuff, because there are clues to point. It's a very interesting theory. Okay, that makes sense, and it also makes sense why you'd have a pyramid there, because they're a very, very strong structure. So there's maybe certain things that are in them there, that are needed to keep it there. History repeats itself. It does. It really does. Especially if we don't learn the overall lessons there. And if we still had Alexandria's library there, we would be so much more advanced than what we are today. I don't know how true this is, but I heard a historian talking about the Library of Alexandria, and they said it wasn't so much all of the fires that that lost all the data. They said that it was, oh, that's a nice bright one. That's not what they said. They said that basically because scrolls are, biodegradable in most environments, it's only a rare case that they survive a long period of time, because the library was around for thousands of years, that basically they went through a poor patch of time where they couldn't afford to recopy the scrolls before they degraded, so they could only copy a handful. So we actually lost a lot of that data because they couldn't afford to recopy them before they deteriorated too much. Oh, wow. Let's just check that there's nothing on the flight radar there flying directly overhead. Nope. That was a cool one. Did you guys see that? I don't know if anyone would have seen that, because I think you've all got that part blocked. Maybe you TikTokers, you saw that one a bit. That was an interesting bright white. I'm going to have to watch that on the replay. I've clipped it, Kate. Because that looked like that orange one we saw the other day. That big bright orange sign there. I don't know, because it was right in D4. Literally the corner of the screen again for that one. Where are we there? Yeah. If we still see Alexander, no, I've done that one. I saw something recently about how the Egyptians had metal cutting wheels, like circular saws, and it was a YouTube short, so it must be true. Well, this is the thing. People can put anything out there. The barrier to entry is quite low on that now, so we do have to kind of keep our guard on us. Go, right, is this somebody's idea? But it doesn't mean it can't be an interesting angle of exploration, can it? Guys, if you are just joining us, I'm working my way through the YouTube chat at the minute, but we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch here live from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. Do say hello, let us know where you're watching from tonight, and see if you can spot anything on the screen for us there. Make sure you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we do this pretty much every night. Clear skies, it's this, and we've got a few ahead of us. It's still a heat wave here in the UK. Cloudy nights, though, we do an alien radio signal hunt. Like the film Contact, we search the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, that's where they put the message. And if the moon's up, we take a look at that. So hopefully we get those notifications when we go live. And was that hurrah there. Can you discuss what we are looking at on the screen there? I'm new to the channel and I think it's great. Thank you. And a good question. If guys do ask away, because sometimes I forget to do the introductions for a while. But yeah, so it's a live UFO Skywatch. And what we're seeing are going to be mostly, guys, man-made objects. There's a hell of a lot of them up there. I think man-made satellites, space junk, stuff like that. And they are orbiting Earth. They are falling to Earth in a big circle. But because they're doing that, they have to follow certain rules. They don't really zip about and move around, all that sort of stuff. So what we're looking for are the ones that basically act a little bit differently, that stop dead, sure foot speed, change their course or trajectory, therefore telling us that they are not a man-made satellite. But until then, we can't see otherwise. Now, not necessarily 100% a man-made satellite, just statistically, and that's not quite the same thing. So we're looking out for the anomalies, and occasionally we do see them. We may have just had one that was slightly off screen that was talking about them. But this is designed to track objects and see if they follow that straight path. It's not quite perfect, so sometimes they do go red just from a misalignment, but do look. Sometimes it can show that weird behaviours the satellites just can't do. Where are you joining us from there? Hurrah. And you did see it there. And hello from Houston, good to have you in there, Sherry. How is Houston tonight? The NASA country there. Been busy and have missed your shows recently, but it's always good to have you back. And how is Houston doing? There, how are your skies tonight there? And Chris, Machu Picchu shows massive rocks at the bottom and a worse craftsmanship as it gets higher up there. Humans always claim stuff others must have built, and we can't move 100-ton stones up mountains. So this is where those questions come in. There's lots of examples there. Look how big this one is. Just exactly like that. Now again, we are just talking about, stone construction, so maybe there were tools that we weren't aware of, or what it is like that. But it is strange, and it just highlights of how imperfect our current archaeology. The current archaeology is there, working from the limited stuff that they had picked up and trying to join the dots there. You know, I think our world, again, have a really interesting place in that, you know, putting these theories out there, seeing if we can come up with a better understanding. Just cook two pancakes, two packets of bacon, not pancake, now I want pancakes. A bit of a salt this time of night. It's always good for you there. And Peter, limestone splits easy along its formation layers there. Shaping sedimentary stone is a lot easier than people think there. Regarding the pyramids there, shaping granite is a trickier question. It's the mass as well, but like, you know, getting that precision, it's possible. That's why I don't necessarily need the aliens. But like because like if they used a ramp, which is the main theory, although there's no evidence they used a ramp, they would need more mass in stone to build the ramp to support the weight of the stones they were dragging up than the pyramid itself. So there's a few little holes in it like that. You're going, I don't need aliens, but I do need something else there. And no way they used the copper tools there, and they didn't have the wheel invented either there. Exactly. If they say that, then I ain't. You know, I just think that whatever their explanation is just going to be, you know, probably worse than ours there. So 11 grams. That's a lot of salt there. Oh, Stoke-on-Trent, good to have you in there, hurrah. So, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight. We want to hear from you all. I'm going to bounce back over to the TikTok chat, see where we got to with you guys. But yeah, still do say hello, even if I am behind in the chat. We will get to you there, and we will get to your questions. Turtles on turtles there. Build of a green room and broadcast from Mars. Go for it. Might not be a bad idea. And Google quantum computer solved a problem, and it could only be solved if multiple. That was one of the theories, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, but again, our theories around the quantum world. The problem is that they're still theories. So it's. And those theories, when you look at it, it's like that they're based on other theories. So that might be one of the answers. I do find it very interesting. But that we haven't locked in a lot of that stuff. It's like dark matter. It's like, well, we're seeing these galaxies move like this. There's no way that could happen unless dark matter exists. Yeah, unless you got your previous theory wrong, which is more likely, invisible shit, or you got your maths wrong initially. So I think there's a few of those like that could be the case. The quantum world, I think, is absolutely fascinating, though. I do think, you know, because I think the gist of it was the quantum computer basically, with how qubits work, you know, it's like they were theorizing that it was basically stealing computational power from the multiverse, you know, because this computer could solve the problem in 1,000 years, but it could solve it in a year if it was stealing computation from other, you know, universes in the multiverse, which was one of the really interesting angles on it there. And do you believe we are being programmed? Of course we are. We know nothing about how long life has been around. Bang on, 100%. Yes, I would say that's true. And Egyptian slaves built the pyramids. Well, that was the old one. Now they think, isn't it, that now they think, you know, it was skilled craftsmen and stuff, but they probably still had slaves for other stuff. They've been doing that sort of shit for a long time there. But I definitely think we're being programmed. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a malicious group of people that have all of the information and they don't want us to. I think we also need to take into account just humanity and our own biases, our own little clubs, and and being dogmatic. There are so many reasons why people will violently defend the status quo, as we see in mainstream academia. Not necessarily because they're all sitting around a table and they know the objective truth. We'll do it ourselves, is the other part of it. The Fitbit data likely shows something way, way bigger than the LHC there. That is interesting there, because the Fitbit leaks are absolutely hilarious. People logging that, and Strava, logging their fitness runs, and you know, they're giving away top secret locations. You know, one's Antarctica, wasn't it? There was the French aircraft carrier, his location was given away again for somebody updating their deck running onto Strava there. And Adele there, I said, don't worry about that. It's all good there. To say that aliens built the pyramid would also be to say aliens must have built the big cathedrals. I think so, yeah. Today's folks say it isn't possible. Again, see, we use possible, and you know, like, but what do we mean? Is that like by our current understandings? Do we mean it's physically impossible, or do we mean that you can't conceive of a way that it is possible? And that's not like an insult, because again, we can conceive of the things that we have experiences with, we have the knowledges of there, but it doesn't mean that there isn't another way around. It just means we don't know of it, you know. So we have to be really careful when people say, "Oh, it's just not possible." What are you assuming to be true there? You know, what assumptions have been made in that statement? You know, because that is so many scientific arguments that way, and it is based on these assumptions, and it's not scientific at all. The stars look so full on tonight. They really do. We are lucky tonight. I can't take any bloody credit for it. It's just we've got a really clear night. But a little bit of atmospheric haze, which is why we're getting a lot of these false positives tonight. It's very frustrating. If we zoom in, you see like the stars, how they're jumping around there. That is the atmospheric, the heat haze, basically. Not heat haze, but yeah, the atmosphere. And it's trying to track them. And someone hacked a Fitbit. Oh, by the way, then it showed people's movements there. Massive circle. I saw that one. Yeah, they just publicly upload it a lot of the time. More like morning. And you know, it's hard to keep up with all of the trackers. Oh my god, there's a lot. We had 11 on screen earlier, but there's a few that I've gone, oh my god, it's got a missed. It didn't quite get. It's been doing this, the false positive, and then I zoom in and I go, oh no, I would have totally not seen that one. And there, who we got in there? And Shrug It Off. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And science is something that we've invented to deceive the masses. So I wouldn't agree with that one. I think it actually has that effect because we don't fully appreciate what is going on. I think a lot of the time what is happening, but I think it's a useful tool. You know, it is, and I think there are branches of sciences, or particular theories that are exactly that are designed to deceive and to distract. But I wouldn't say science as a tool, as a mechanism is fully for that one. But you know, again, it is imperfect and it is often treated dogmatically. It is treated like a religion, and it can distract there. But you know, we can look to, you know, the breakthrough of science, and you know, there was nothing in between. You know, if we talk about a pre-existing civilization that maybe was better and they did everything through sound and frequency, great, wonderful. But how do we then? But then the science comes in and things get better for us on our current trajectory. That's not the same as somebody having all of that technology secretly for still. It's us eventually getting to a point of being able to do things, isn't it? And the universe matches a game there. It doesn't waste energy on, you know, knowing. Oh, but exactly. Like, this is the thing, you know, nuclear weapons, nuclear physics were always possible. They were possible in caveman times, but we didn't even know about it. We were so many steps away from understanding any of that. You know, but it was always there. It was always possible. It just we didn't know the things that we needed to know the next things, to need to know the next things there. Maybe we don't know, NG. This is it. And again, right, when all this stuff that I'm saying very passionately could be shit. Like, I'm doing my best to the way I see things, and I sometimes I'm purposely contrarian because I come across purposely contrarian because look, I think we miss a lot of conversation around things. So even if I believe something and somebody comes in with that, I might put the counter argument to it, because I think it's important that we mix all these things up, or some certain arguments that don't get mixed there. So this is the thing, you know, we have to take things on that are interesting, but not immediately have to decide if it's good or if it's bad, if it's right or if it's wrong, you know. And Adam there, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from there? And I love listening to all the facts that people believe, but this is the thing, you know, people do come out and we conflate facts, don't we, for belief a lot of the time, and scientists do this a lot of the time as well. But we have to be humble with it, you know. This is the thing, NG, is that you've got to come back to the point of going, you know, there may be stuff that we as individuals know that somebody else doesn't, but how do we know that? You know, like, we're limited in human as individuals as well, you know. I mean, unless you have had that literal experience where you've, you know, undusted a golden tablet in your garden that has said, this is the truth, okay, then that might be a bit of a thing there. If you've stumbled across it through people on YouTube and stuff like that, well, you know, other people have got access to that information and might not be right. Maybe might disagree with it. There might be reasons around it, and that's why, again, I can't say I'm 100% correct. I can't even say that I'm actually a decent percentage correct. But contributing to the conversation, I think, is valuable either way, and it's down for individuals to decide there. Is that true? It's certainly there. But the double slit energy slit proves that energy isn't wasted unless observed there. Well, the double slit proves, doesn't it, that basically, it proves that light is, you know, not a particle or a wave, sort of things like that. Oh my God, the observer effect, essentially. But I've never heard it phrased as energy isn't wasted until it's observed. But that is technically a way of looking at it. That is very interesting, true. That is I've never heard it actually phrased like that. But I suppose you're right there, you know. in the sense, I'm going to have to get my head around that one for a little bit. But wasted until it's unused, basically, action. I kind of think that when you're looking at those levels, you're still in the realms of possibility, and there hasn't been enough interaction for the universe to decide what is going on. Have a look at light cones if you haven't already. I find that interesting, that basically there is a certain distance away from an action, that it's so far in space that there is just no connection, and therefore time doesn't have to be linear for that as well. And I've got a feeling there's something along those lines at play with the observer effect there as well. You know, it's not been forced to make that decision because there's nothing directly interacting with it. You know, there's something along those lines, but I'm nowhere near smart enough to tell what that might be, other than that could be interesting there. Define education. How do you mean? Like, you know, what do you mean as education there? Because I'm not a fan of academic education. And again, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It does a job. People, at the very least, mostly over here, learn to read and write and kind of just about function with it. But beyond that, I think it's very questionable here as well. But again, it's a list of what people believe, and then they have a habit, the academic world have a habit of going, right, well, that's what he says, so that must be true, let's do the next thing. And, you know, it's like, well, lads, you know, how do you know that that's true? You know, that is the thing, the issue with it there. But the idea, the principle of passing on a skill, a way to interact with the world, that, you know, shouldn't be sniffed at. That's a valuable thing. You know, we have adapted it over time. Oh God, where are we? Sorry, I'm trying to make my way through the chat and it keeps jumping ahead on me. Down. Oh my God, where did we get to? No, there we are. If it's on the news, it's fake. I mean, not necessarily. You know, they're not necessarily. I wouldn't take the news as 100%. You know, what are they leaving out by omission? What is their interpretation of the situation? But, you know, I mean, sometimes we see on the news, look, there's a car pile up on the M25. Is that fake? Did that car crash not happen? You know, we can't keep going yes or no when something's more complicated than that. And our greatest minds discovered things in dreams. Yes, true. And what is happening with that is, I think it's interesting. And good spot in there, poor man. Oh, that's a nice bright one coming through there. Again, it's not been successfully tracked. Look at that gap on there. Nice big bright one. Could be more interesting. Definitely interesting tracking line there as well. Our greatest minds have lived an abundance of drugs are now banned there. Lived in abundance. They have, yeah. And this is what we do, isn't it? We overly ban one way, and then looks like they're getting some light of day now, aren't they? People are looking into it there. And the scientist girl who died there said plasma was alive, and I watched it and I can't find again. Oh, I didn't know she was talking about that, but I think that is true. There's a lot of scientists talking about this now, that a lot of what we could be seeing is in the phenomena could be oh my God, my brain's gone dead, sorry guys. What we see in the phenomena could be basically sentient plasma. You know, it seems to have been observed on multiple occasions, you know, interacting and responding to its environment, you know, working with complex situations and reproduction potentially even as well. And there are groups now of actual scientists in the mainstream now looking at that. It was I think the Condign report, a UK government report in 1999-2000, I think it was, and that was looking into the UFO phenomena. That basically said we need to look into that. That's most likely what a big part of the phenomena is. I have a UFO video on my page there, and I see them every night, and others see them. Conscious there. Next time you get one, tag us in it so I can check it out there. What sort of sighting is it? Is it a moving light around there? Is there a coloration to it, or could you see the outline of the craft? I love that. And Lowell Active there. I think the world's a stage, and all of those in top positions are paid actors, hence $1 million there, salaries there, all what Masonic threads behind closed doors. I don't know how I feel on that, because I felt that way, and I do think that's going to be a component, but I kind of find my feelings very paradoxical at the minute, which is, on one hand, I look at how they manage certain things, and I go, you guys could not operate a fucking piss up in a brewery, and on the other hand, I go, you're keeping all of this shit a secret, and there will be a way to weave those two together, but I don't know. I kind of get what you're saying with there. And what makes you believe this? What's this? We talk about too many different things, NG. I need more specific on that one. I see if I can share. Thank you there. And I won't do it off the topic there. I see Mint Boys and Starmer. Well, yeah. That was hilarious. Is that a group of three? Oh, true. Damn it, I'm so far behind there. Did anybody else see that one? Is Polaris there? Don't think so where we're pointing. Maybe. No, I don't think there's part of the sky there. R4 missed it too there. I might be able to see when the text is absent in there, the clip. I saw those clips automatically. They're meant to, but I've not been able to find them. Oh, let me clip something now and see if it tells me, because I was looking and they don't seem to have been going. Let's have a look. Where does that say it is? If I just did, I'm going to type one called test. It won't be up there tonight, but well, it'll be up there about 2 in the morning or something. TG coming in with the shares, thank you for that. Adam as well coming in with the gifts, appreciate those guys. If I missed any more, Joseph X as well for those. All the gifts and subs to patrons do go back into the stream. And what's that one? What's the translation on that one? Triple H there. Or should I say Quad H there. You talk a lot. Definitely, I definitely do, but you love it there. And the, I can't see those ones as well. How often the UFOs there, Philip? So, there's 2 degrees. So there's a real top end, that anomalous movement. That for us is slam dunk anomalous, but it is much rarer. Does happen. Then there's the middle ground of stuff that could technically still be explained away as man-made, but it isn't 100% there, and it looks a lot different to all the other stuff there. They happen a lot more often. But, you know, normally we'll get something strange every stream, every other stream there. And hi from Nottinghamshire. Good to have you in there, Aisha. Have you ever seen anything strange up your way there? Thank you for the follow. What's that one there? They are definitely not trying to deceive us. Oh, of course people are. And what is the weirdest thing you've seen in these lives? So either the big bright orange object, which we may have seen tonight, but possibly covered by this bloody camera, or you guys on TikTok might have seen it just down there. Big bright, it was too fast to be a satellite, too slow to be a shooting star, and just too bloody big either way. We see that one before. That was really cool and really interesting. But also the triangular object there, the 3 white dots, but it was blocking out the stars behind it. There is no such thing as a possible. How do you mean? Because that could be quite an interesting angle to go down. You know, if you're thinking in a deterministic sense, you know, maybe time is one solid thing and we're just experiencing, you know, going through it, but really all of the variations are already laid out and therefore possible wouldn't be, because all variations would be there. And I think it means knowledge was lost in my opinion. I think so. I think we're very quick to blame things on bad guys, you know, in a room there. And look, that happens. But I don't think that's most of the problem. I think it's just human imperfection is the biggest thing of why these things go wrong. And the haze might be the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. I don't know if it possibly could travel around here. You never know. I'm not even considered that one. Always think we're out of the way, but we do get the old sand from the Sahara, don't we? And there. And what's the little zoomed one? So, good question. It all depends. Majority of them are going to be man-made satellites. But we don't know for sure. That is the thing, you know. And again, these things were seen before man had satellites up there. So even if it doesn't do something anomalous there, we'll default to man-made satellite as a statistical argument. But you'll default to that. But it doesn't necessarily mean it is. Again, it was seen and recorded before we had stuff up there. And we're wrong there. Wake up to a reality. Now you're winding me up there. You can't be that confident. You know, if you're that confident, this is the thing. It's like they say about quantum physics. If you think you know quantum physics, you don't know quantum physics there. So anybody with 100% confidence, it makes me skeptical there. You've got to have a bit of humility. And Daddy there as well, what is these little cursor tracking things? So Daddy, 100%, that is basically objects, or it's trying to, we're getting a few false identifications at the minute, but what they're doing is looking out for movement up there, and hopefully we are going to be able to, well, we are tracking them across the sky, looking out to see if they're doing anything strange, you know, stopping dead, shooting off at speed, changing their course or trajectory. That tells us for sure they could be UFOs or something strange like that. And Waffle, what's your opinion or thoughts on Skinwalker Ranch? I think it's very, very interesting. I do find it quite interesting there as a place. I haven't seen enough of the show to know 100% or to have like 100% feeling on it yet there. I wish it in a good way. But I might be. Again, I don't know. I am a product of my experience, you know, there, my education, my experience, all of the things are there as well. So, again, it's definitely not going to be 100% true. But is it true enough? Enjoy passionate discussing people. I'm on my way. Love it. It's there. Again, this is how we all learn. There's been plenty of times when people have come in and made some really, really bloody good points. And there's things that I was pretty convinced on. I go, no, actually, no, that does make sense. There. So we've got to all learn there. And theoretically, anything. Well, could be for that. Okay. Never claimed to know anything. Well, for just a second you said you're wrong. But you would need to know what the truth of whatever that was to be right, wouldn't it? It's a good point there. Yeah, exactly. Love the double slit. It's the laws of observation that blow my mind. It's just the first hint, isn't it? It's the smell of the fresh bread as you walk past the bakery. It doesn't tell you what cakes they've got on display. It doesn't tell you what the bakery products are there. It doesn't tell you how much they are or how long the queue is. But you get excited at what the possibilities are there. And where are we? Down here. Evening legalized. How are you doing there? And Mars got its moon as passing a mountain that looked really close. Oh, I didn't know that one there. It's passing a mountain. And just check the drive. I don't see it yet. Oh, it won't. No, I have to do the upload afterwards because otherwise it hogs the bandwidth there. So I turn that one on a couple of hours after the stream. I have to check tomorrow to see if it is. I can check in a minute, actually. Tong and Emma, thank you for the follow. And Bentu, where are you joining us from tonight there? And John, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. I can't take credit. It is the night sky doing all of the work and all of the heavy lifting there. But guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Just working my way through the YouTube, for the TikTok, then I'll get back over to the YouTubes and get through all of your comments there. Yeah, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Ask away any questions you may have. We love to hear from you all. Make sure you're following, subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we are on pretty much every night looking for the evidence. If it's a clear sky, then we're here doing this. Keeps dipping out and avoiding answering the questions. Well, yeah, I'm getting bored of him now. I mean, I'm fine with it, but I'm getting bored. And what camera do you use there? And the software is our own one alone. We're making it ourselves, hence why it's getting some of the alignments wrong. But it's a Sony A7, I think. It's a very early one, so it could definitely be a better there. And Baked Button as well. Thank you for the follow as well there. Have a good one there, guys. Our bedtime, but we'll be on tomorrow night. Hopefully, we'll catch you then. Did I jump ahead on a few? No, we did. No, I think we caught up with it there. Adam as well, they're coming in with the gifts. Appreciate that, guys. The gifts, the subs, the merch, all that jazz does go back into the stream, help us improve what we do. We're currently actually saving up to go on the road to Rendlesham Forest, so occasionally we do take the Skywatch kit up a big hill locally, the Arnage Hill Forts, where there's been a lot of sightings, and we see some strange things. We take you with us, obviously, but we want to do a bit of a UK road trip to all the UFO hotspots, kicking off with Rendlesham Forest, which I think is going to be great. You can watch me get scared. So if you do want to help us out there, when it loads, boom, there we go. That's our tour t-shirt. UFO sighting logbook there as well. A hat. We've got all sorts of t-shirts. That one's my favourite, but I'm wearing that one right now. And if you do decide to grab one of those, our shop link in bio, then put it in our merch showcase with you wearing it on the Discord, and it will get brought in there, and you can see yourself up on the stream there. And I think we've got Amanda coming in. Is it Amanda? That'll be loaded for tomorrow night there. So hopefully we'll see you. We've got them all there. Right, where do we get to over on the tubes, guys? We got to you guys. Oh, my jaw's going on. Where did we get to? Got the time lapse, didn't we? Where did we get to? No, I did the Graham Hancock ones. Where did? To that one. We got Houston. Yeah, that was it. Machu Picchu. I think around here. Didn't we? You just, I know, did the bacon one as well. Limestone. Where are we? Those South American stones that perfectly fit use an acidic melted version of the stone. Geopolymers, they call them, don't they? There as a type of mortar, and then it dries out to look like the same stone. That's an interesting angle of it. No, because the geopolymers, like the whole thing form, but you're talking about it's like a type of mortar, which gives it those straight edges there. So why, if they're putting it on and butting it up, then why is it not just all blurred into one rather than the straight edge there? It's an interesting take on it there. The Skara based in Scotland there is older than the pyramid. Skara Brace, sorry. There are a few places, aren't there, that are like that. We keep pushing our date of human development further and further back with the more discoveries that we get there. And hurrah there! I remember the Warminster thing. Brilliant. Well, that is where we're based, actually, in Warminster. So as you probably already said it, and lots of strange things going on around here. I think the events that happened here in the 60s and 70s there were just the best. I think it's come off now, but Gandalf in the chat was there at the time and experienced all the things. But I hadn't heard about it. I thought I was into all the UFO stuff. Thought I'd seen all the good sightings, but I hadn't heard about this at all. And honestly, it was a great one because so much went on consistently for 10 years here. It's a really, really strange place. Copper tools can be found over 2,000 years there, and it doesn't rust. So if they used steel, they would have rusted, and no proof of steel tools. So that's a very good point. There's not going to be that evidence left behind. But the way science works, and archaeology is technically not science, is they're going from what is known and what they can say to then progress forward. But then they have their theories based on that, limited by their observations. But that doesn't account for literally things like that, the gap in the records. Same with dating how long modern man, Homo sapiens have been around for. That is based on, well, what's the oldest fucking fossils we've found? So it constantly is being pushed back the more that we get it. But it doesn't mean that the humans weren't around before them. It just means that we haven't got conclusive evidence of it there, And that's a very different... Science doesn't like that, and scientists don't like that. And I appreciate why they can't say for sure, because, you don't have the evidence. But it doesn't mean that their version is going to be correct with their limited data. I think our history's been stolen there, rewritten. Play about the Rothschild. Could be an interesting... Oh, what's his name? He's got a Rothschild connection. It Greer. Wait, has it gone down there? Well retracted. How you doing, Nathan? Good to see you there. Carry on. What's that? Oh, you're off in 10 minutes there, Raf. I found one of those tablets, but buried it again there. Best leave it to that. You don't want a religion starting around yourself. All sorts of trouble that could be there as well. And someone said to me, read the Book of Thomas. Okay, I've heard, again, I grew up quite skeptical of a lot of the religious stuff, but if you take it with an open mind, in the sense that it doesn't have to be 100% correct. Maybe there are things within this that they've got right, or maybe I'm going to be misinterpreting it with my language. Just about what we said about sin. Go through all of the parables, right, where they talk about sin, but don't think of it as a moral judgment, as we've all kind of culturally got to know it, but think of it as the definition meaning to miss the mark, right? All of a sudden you go, oh shit, actually, some of these are quite wise. So you revisit those things. There could be a lot of gold. Definitely if you think about the experiences that they report, very, very interesting. Could be a lot going on there. What's the first one? Not first one. Book of Enoch. There we go. Could be really interested in. Interesting. Look, Bob Lazar is God. Bob Lazar or God Lazar? That's the sad whole truth. We will never know. Are they begging? Because we weren't there. So it's all guesswork, no matter who thinks they know. Exactly right. And we have to be comfortable with that. The lesson isn't who was right or who was wrong. The lesson is we need to just chill the fuck out of things being in that middle ground. That's it.
Sam, did something just fall in your room?
Not that I've heard.
There was a bang.
Did you check downstairs? Just housekeeping there. Angela's in at the minute there. Raf, you can if you want with them. Angela, how are you doing there? Oh, the very a moment before the sound, maybe. You never know. And who invented bacon deserves a Nobel Prize? It's the pigs. Richard Bacon. Very good there, Angela. Very good. Where are we? Exactly. I think there could be some interesting counterpoints there, but it always blows my mind how many people have no idea how to interact socially at all. We can be quite tolerant there, but look, sometimes if you've got a message to say, it's not just what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, isn't it? There. We came from something other than nothing. Well, that, yeah. And Terry. Oh, fucking hell! That's got to be a plane. Let's bring up the grid, the thing. Come on, that's got to be a plane. Come on. Fuck, no. There's nothing in the airspace. there was a green and red tinge to that. So when I review that, maybe that's drone lights or something, but we don't get drones around here, and I didn't hear anything. That is crazy there. Prove little green men don't... Exactly, it's unfalsifiable, which is, you know, you've got to give the count. We can't prove against that, you know, it puts us at a different disadvantage there. But they don't, you can't prove it, so you can't say 100%. Science has to be happy with not being able to say that. Well done, Ralph, there. And 32. And it's like saying that you like Michael Jackson, but listen to his music every time. What's that? Hold on, I'm going to go check to just double check that nothing did fall down. I'm going to leave you in Alan's incapable paws. Hold on.
It's me, Alan, the real star of the show. Wake up, pathetic humans.
Hope Alan behaved himself. Oh, God. The mystery bump in the night will remain unsolved for us there. Where did we get to in the chat? Purple dot is Vega. Okay, exactly. Chris, how far is our furthest space machine from Earth? I think it's 1 light day now, isn't it, Vega? It's 26 light years, so 1 light day. Insane. And what means fake and folk? Oh, that's a tongue twister there. That was a long sausage. I've never seen one like that. That was insane. I wanted to look at the crit straight after this. Oh, was it right in the middle? Well, that would make sense then. I couldn't see that on the... it should be out of it. Ah, there we go. That was it. There we go, guys. You saw it. There. So it was right in the middle, so I didn't bloody see it then. But that'd explain why it's straight overhead. Now, that is cool. That is still a cool sight in there. Well done, Doug, for spotting that one. If we go offline, it was a nuke there. It was a helicopter. Good spotting, guys. Whereas the night cam pointing there, which way? We're pointing southwest, but quite high up at the minute there. A UFO, Nick. Oh, sadly, no, it was a plane. It was a plane there. We'll still clip it because that looks good. Where do we get over to on the TikTok chat? Oh, shit, I'm just noticing the time, guys. Right, I'm going to have to finish up on TikTok and the chat if I can for a bit, and then we'll be calling it there because work. Where did we get to? To Baked, didn't we? There. You were here, thank you, Kate. Doesn't the Book of Enoch only mention Enoch in only one chapter? I haven't read it yet, but there are some interesting things apparently. Did the grasshopper return? The grasshopper was waiting on my window. He was back. I was worried about him there. How you doing, Ram Raiders? Loco there and Fire Sign. Thank you for the follows there. And oh, what's that one? Why can't I check the translation on that one? Oh, I can't, Loco, I can't see the translation, sadly, for that one. Guess EI was wrong about that then. You're already awake, Alan. Oh, you missed it. Well, you also wasn't awake enough then. What do you mean? What mean? I'm not sure what you're on about there, Zomo. Where are we? Where do we get oh. What are you? Yeah, I don't follow that one at all. Apparently the Book of Enoch is a hard read. It makes no sense. I need to get an audiobook. A few of you guys in the community have read it, said it is interesting, but I need to see exactly. Apparently it's like multiple books in one, really. How are you making eye contact with the camera and reading the chat? It's freaking you out there. I'm glad. Teleprompter. It displays the chat onto the camera behind it. I needed a separate screen anyway for the chats because I've got, it's like mission control in there, lads. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors and my phone going at once. Separate sound mixer, foot pedals, 2 button boxes. It's ridiculous. It gets very carried away. But I can stare into your soul. You stayed away long enough there, Kate. Camera active all night. Do you close? I have to close it down, sadly, because yeah, it's not very weather resistant. Oh, why is the radar still on for you guys? Over on the TikTok, that was meant to have come off. Oh well, that must have lagged. Anyway, I'm going to have to come off now because I have work in the morning, guys. But thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for your awesome questions, knowledge, and all of that sort of jazz there. Do appreciate you all. And yeah, do join us tomorrow night. So make sure you're following or subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you are, because as I say, we'll be on pretty much every night doing something. Either this, if it's a clear sky, or the alien radio signal hunt, or the moon watch, or something along those lines. So yeah, make sure you're following, subscribed. Appreciate you all hanging out with us as well. And yeah, we'll see you all then. Bye bye.